Back, guess who's back? 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 Guess who's back?
Hey, good morning, Amanda. How you doing, Amanda? First one in. How you doing, well? Early bird, yeah, I've got up. Hey, good morning, John. Good morning, Zox. I've been up quite early, guys. I've got to go out. Sun's out. Yeah, it's come out. It's been pissing down, actually, for the last couple of days down here. Been absolutely pissing it down. So yeah, I'm quite busy today as it goes, so I've got to go do some shopping and then I've got to come back and I've got to do some other stuff. So I'm going to be sort of in and out today. Good morning, Jax. How you doing? Great to see the ladies in. I was up at 5:30. The cats. The cats. Hey, good morning, Forever.
If you don't know, it's part of the show.
Off to the tip.
Didn't they teach you to reach for the stars?
Are you off to? Did you have a clear out, Amanda?
Keeping you chained down with more.
I'll do that every now and then.
Vaccine.
Right, clear out time. Clear everything out and get it down the dump. Right. It's got to be done. That's got to be done. I actually quite enjoy doing it. It goes.
For your arms, kids sounding like supercharged, caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. No answers for yards, caught up in emotion. And
right, okay, guys. What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some videos on. I don't know how long I'm actually gonna be, so just find these vids. They're all right. They're pretty. So got some good ones today as it goes. Got some good ones. I'm just gonna let it play. It's a long ass list. It's fucking long. Levels of final embarrassment. Right, let's go.
Now, what I'm going to entertain today started about a month ago. And of course, at the time, I was making lots of videos about the final experiment and highlighting the faulty logic of certain characters related to the final experiment.
Hey, good morning, Honor.
And a little interaction with Will on one of his videos, in which he took my comment out of context. I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. I rolled with it, in which you will see from a comment of mine. But it would seem the last couple of weeks things have been said.
Will's actions are just a massive bag of ammunition for anyone that wants to like tear shreds off him. Just go and look at his videos and lives. Will's quite funny. I think all these guys are funny, man. They're just even some of these upward rising earthers. I think they're quite fun.
Said that have made me go,
Well, I'll be back soon.
So
I'll be back
we're going
soon.
to entertain it. Will, do you want to get this silliness started?
So, Level Earth Observer, who is also known as LEO, some people refer to him as Leo, and his name is Adam, has invited me to come meet with him in England. Super cool. Here is the comment where he invited.
I'm just going to pause it now before I read the
If you really want to see my face, come to England with me. That's not an invite. Will, that's not an invite. If you really want to see my face, come to England. We'll meet in person. That's English, just like humour and sarcasm, mate. That's not. Leo doesn't want to meet you, right? I think he might do. He might do. Right. I've got to get off. I just thought that was funny.
There's a lot of pantomime going on, particularly between myself and Jaren. Okay, so just to give you some timescales relating to this comment. And I stated, so what you're saying is demonstrable reality is wrong until I see your face. Got some very strange logic, Will. Are you going to address the fact that no one trusts Jaren? He's got no credibility whatsoever, and as a result, no one will believe a word that comes out of his mouth. Now I'll go straight to the bottom. If you really want to see my face, come to England and we'll meet in person. I kind of meant that relating to the top sentence about demonstrable reality and seeing my face. But hey, If you want to interpret that as romantic walks down the Thames, that's up to you. And I kind of gave you a pass, not because of the romantic walk.
So can
I just kind of gave you the benefit of.
can an upward rising earther tell me, please, how much I weigh when I jump out of a plane? And what's giving me weight when I'm on the ground? Two very simple questions, should be about to be answered very, very quickly. Like, normally they would say, well, what do you expect to experience? And you're experiencing weight, and that's from the upward motion, right? This is what they're saying. And they're saying, if I jump out of a plane, I'm weightless. Right? I'll come back. We'll get back to it later.
That. I could see
So,
how you would get confused.
Just tell me if I'm correct. I'm not misrepresenting anybody or nothing. That's actually what they're saying, right? Because I've heard Simon say it many times. When I jump out of a plane, I don't weigh anything. I've heard Simon, one man, and his detector say it loads of times. So I'm just clarifying it, right? Right, I'm just going to go to the shops. I'll be back soon.
But let's carry on.
Me to come to England. Now, I am excited because finally, it seems people are starting to understand the spirit of what I want with the final experiment, which is bringing both sides together, breaking down this wall that separates flat earthers and globe earthers. And
Just going to pause it there. Will, I don't hate anyone. I'm not particularly fond of certain globies that falsely tried to slander me based on their misunderstandings of how a tower crane worked, and it didn't impress me that certain celebrity flat earthers entertained those people and gave them relevance. But even so, I don't hate them. I just don't trust them.
together in search of truth. And so this invitation is exciting to me because we can meet.
Hey, good morning, Roger. How you doing?
Hash out our differences, and we can figure this out.
One man and his
together.
bullshit.
Now, what a lot of people don't know.
I
is
don't
that
disagree with you there, Amanda. Some of the shit. Simon's gone fully dark side, isn't he? He's even in Dell's Discord. You gotta laugh at these wars. So yeah, according to Simon, when you jump out of a plane, you don't weigh anything, right? You don't weigh. You're weightless. So if that's true, tell me how a parachute. Tell me the dynamics of a parachute, please. Tell me how it works. Because you need the counterweight at the bottom, which is you, for the whole thing to work. Because that puts your weight, puts the tension in the wires into the parachute, right? Because if you wasn't there as a counterweight in the parachute, it would collapse. So you do weigh something. What, suddenly you're free falling, you don't weigh nothing, and when you pull the chute, suddenly you get all your weight back? Is that what happens? So yeah, just can someone upward rising clarify that for me? Thank you.
this invitation means a lot to me because I have family in England. In fact, my grandmother was born in England back in 1925. So almost 100 years ago.
I'm just going to pause it there. And that's also...
Right, I'll be back soon.
And grands are amazing.
I've got to go.
Because they bring down the wisdom.
Yeah, he's gone fully dark side.
Through direct contact. And I love that. Bear with me. There's a quick picture of Will's gran. She's 99. And I have to say, she looks amazing.
Hey, good morning, Laura.
At the time.
Right, I've got to go, guys. Let me just turn this volume down.
Picture of Will's video.
Yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay
right,
forever. Thank
back
you.
To the video.
There's
Okay,
only
fast forward
the
into a
town's
couple
only
weeks
full of
ago.
a few nutters, so.
Anyway, I promised everyone an update today. Let's start with Adam, better known as Level Earth Observer. He invited me to come to England, which I gladly accepted. And I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard back from him yet. So hopefully that's just, you know, he's busy or something. But I'm excited to go out to England and get to meet him and also see family. and see some other people that I would like to see out there. Hopefully he was genuine in his invitation to me.
And now this clip is from, I believe, about a week ago.
Level Earth Observer has made probably 15 or more videos about the final experiment. And he actually invited me to England to have a face-to-face conversation with him. And so I accepted his offer. And surprise, surprise, haven't heard back from him on that. So I think...
Gee, what a surprise. Yeah.
I don't think he was being sincere.
I mean, you'd buy him a pint, surely.
Absolutely.
Will, before you go running your mouth there, you might want to check the comment section of that said video, mate, because you're making yourself look very, very silly. Bear with me. It's annoying. I've got to film it like this. I'll try and trim it a bit. But we go, you can see the video, obviously. We go to the comments. The first video there is mine. Interesting approach. I will say this. Your gran looked fantastic for her age, Will. And this is me giving him the benefit of the doubt. Just give me a shout the next time you visit and we'll sort something out. So I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. Actually wrote and complimented his gran. And then what do I hear back? Him running his mouth, almost questioning my integrity. Will, you didn't obviously check thoroughly your own comment section, but you were quite happy to watch hours and hours and hours of other people's footage and get information and cuts and edits about people and use it against them. But somehow you missed my comment, which is still there because other people have thumbed it up. So is this dishonesty at play from the pastor? Is this some sort of game they're trying to play? Because these globies do have some weird fascination with me. A lot of them want to see my face. I find that weird. And of course, many obsess over me. I can think of many who've made over 100 videos about me. And of course, not one of them will have a practical demonstration to refute me. This is the sort of mentality you're dealing with in a lot of cases with these Globe Online representatives. So, was this tactical from Will? Or just laziness? You tell me.
Fucking screamers go. That's 4 feet tall. This is one that I got here from Sea. And there's snowballs in it. P1000. For the flat rum dudes and dudettes. Check out the flat rum. Really no shit. And this purge vector crap. You gotta be kidding me. What's that, another theory? Does a little Willie come up with that van trick? Come on, man. And Dell's pushing that. Stupidness, man. It's another theory on a theory on a theory. How about we don't know where we are? It's a realm. Whatever they told us is a lie. There's all kinds of hidden lands, you're sure. Yeah. But that's okay, we'll just keep squabbling over the same thing in these echo chambers of over and over bullshit again. You know? Meanwhile, their freedoms are being taken away. They're trying to bring about digital currency and turn everybody into a total asshole. If you haven't noticed, these idiots are wearing their face masks and hand gloves and gloves in their hands, pardon me, and this stuff isn't even over, man. And they're taking away our freedom. You know? This kind of shit. Agenda 21, Agenda 2025, Agenda 30. You know? Anyway. That's what's going on, man. YouTube's full of idiots anyway. Right? And then people just trying to make money off it. There's a lot bigger issues out there than squabbling over where we live. It's like, what are we doing here? How do we get here? We're not even physically from this place, man. If I was to take off my clothes and go downstairs, my feet aren't even designed to walk on the ground. You know, and I'd probably end up getting sunburned or freezing my ass off in this part of town. You know, anyway. You know, so anybody pushing this whole bullshit over and over again is just part of the problem, man. See? It's fucking hell, man. It's a hell realm. Right? Anyway. Hope you're having a good day, man. Be good to yourself. Right? Serious. That's the balcony crop this year. Coming along. Had a few minor issues. Anyway. I like this one. Got some nice snowballs on it. And this one didn't have any problem. This one's seed though. The other ones here are cloned from the ones in my tent. Getting my time in hell. Coming along. This one's here is Long Island Pink. Prison plane, man. We gotta escape. Much love, man.
Now, there's one thing you might have noticed I don't complain about. Politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they suck. Yeah! Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality. They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out. If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders. And term limits ain't going to do you any good. You're just going to wind up with a brand new bunch of selfish, ignorant Americans. So maybe it's not the politicians who suck. Maybe something else sucks around here, like the public. Yeah, the public sucks. There's a nice campaign slogan for somebody. The public sucks. Fuck hope. Fuck hope. Because if it's really just the fault of these politicians, then where are all the other bright people of conscience? Where are all the bright, honest, intelligent Americans ready to step in and save the nation and lead the way? We don't have people like that in this country. Everybody's at the mall, scratching his ass, picking his nose, taking his credit card out of his fanny pack and buying a pair of sneakers with lights in them. So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On election day, I stay home. I don't vote. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't vote. Two reasons I don't vote. First of all, it's meaningless. This country was bought and sold and paid for a long time ago. The shit they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing. And secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain. People like to twist that around, I know. They say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote and you elect dishonest, incompetent people and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who did not vote, who in fact did not even leave the house on election day, am in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year you're going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. You'll enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately. As for me, I'll be home on that day doing essentially the same thing as you. The only difference is when I get finished masturbating, I'm going to have a little something to show for it, folks. Thank you very much.
But if you talk to one of them about this, if you isolate one of them, you sit them down rationally, and you talk to them about the low IQs and the dumb behavior and the bad decisions, right away they start talking about education. That's the big answer to everything. Education. They say we need more money for education. We need more books, more teachers, more classrooms, more schools. We need more testing for the kids. And you say to them, well, you know, we've tried all of that, and the kids still can't pass the test. They say, don't you worry about that. We're going to lower the passing grades. And that's what they do in a lot of these schools now. They lower the passing grades so more kids can pass. More kids pass, the school looks good, everybody's happy, the IQ of the country slips another 2 or 3 points, and pretty soon all you'll need to get into college is a fucking pencil. Got a pencil? Get the fuck in there, it's physics. Then everyone wonders why 17 other countries graduate more scientists than we do. Education. Politicians know that word. They use it on you. Politicians have traditionally hidden behind 3 things: the flag, the Bible, and children. No child left behind. No child left behind. Oh, really? Well, it wasn't long ago you were talking about giving kids a head start. Head start, left behind. Someone's losing fucking ground here. But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back, so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long, where they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Man, you know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
All right. This is going to be a quick one, really quick, because people keep going on and on and on about the sun's a simulator, the sun's a simulator, the simulated sun, there's a black hole sun, blah, blah, blah. You guys, the sun is not a simulator. There is nothing that man has invented that can replace the sun, that is as reliable as the sun, that would show up every day in the exact spot that it's supposed to without fail. I mean, do you guys know anything invented by man that is that reliable every day at the same time on a regular cycle on the same path that the sun is supposed to take would replace the sun and we wouldn't be able to know? It would be very easy to debunk this, or it's very easy to prove that the sun is not a simulator, because if the sun was a simulator, what does a sun simulator look like that everybody shows? Like this, right? This. If the sun was replaced by a simulator that looked like this, it would be very easy to prove it, because all you would have to do is put a solar filter on your camera the same way that I used a solar filter to take this picture of the sun with the P900, and instead of looking like this, the sun would look like this. It would be very, very easy to tell. I think you people should think about this stuff before you get so married to these ideas. I've been saying for years the sun cannot be replaced by a simulator. We would know if it was a simulator. It would be obvious it was a simulator. We would see this with the solar filter. For one thing, there's other reasons to it that the sun cannot be a simulator. But I just want you guys to think about this. Somebody somewhere get some video with your solar filter in a P900 or a P1000 and show me a sun that looks like this, and then we'll talk.
Breaking news. Strange noises coming from the inside of Boeing Starliner's space capsule, which is currently docked to the International Space Station. Now, I don't know if you're up to date with the latest ISS news. This Starliner capsule has had nothing but problems. And because of these problems, it's got 2 astronauts stranded on the International Space Station. They're waiting for Elon Musk to get his Dragon, I believe, up there to save the day. But now we've got these strange noises coming from this seemingly doomed Boeing Starliner capsule. So let's have a listen.
Houston 2, got a question about Starliner. Houston's with you, Butch. Go ahead. There's a strange noise coming through the speaker, and I didn't know if you could connect into the Starliner and let me keep mic and let you hear it. I don't know what's making it, but I don't know if it's something that maybe is connected between here and there, making that happen. But anyway, can you do that? We can configure that, Butch. Give us a minute, and I'll call you back when it's ready.
Didn't seem to have any delay problems there, lads, but hey.
Okay.
Station Houston on 2, we're configured for audio via hardline and CST, if you want to give us a call.
Okay, I'm in Starliner and Heavy Rate.
555, how many?
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm going to definitely keep the mic up next to the speaker.
Copy.
Hear that?
At negative, Butch, we did not hear anything.
That.
All right, Butch, that one came through. It was kind of like a pulsing noise, almost like a sonar ping.
Yeah,
It was like a sonar. It was like the sound of a favometer, which submarines use to gauge the distance between the submarine and the ocean bed so they don't crash into the bottom of the ocean bed. This is just pure mockery. Them laughing at the fact that people believe this nonsense. And like I say, the mockery comes in because most of the spacewalks we see are done underwater. And as a result, this is just pure mockery. Any of the space fans spitting their dummy out going, hang on a minute, that's the technology they use to dock. Well, no, it wouldn't be such a mysterious noise to the astronauts if that was the case, would it? This is pure mockery.
one more time, and I'll let y'all scratch your heads to see if you can figure out what's going on. Here we go. All right, over to you. Tell us if you figure it out.
Yep, good recording. Thanks, Butch. We will pass it on to the team and let you know what we find. And Butch, just to make sure I'm on the same page, this is emanating from the speaker in Starliner. You don't notice anything else, any other noises, any other weird configs in there?
Very nice. That's good.
There's some bloke in there called Captain Nemo. Absolutely ridiculous, lads. Let's just have a quick listen, because I do love this sound. We'll put aside the fact NASA are mocking their fans. Love it.
Hey YouTube, it's another perfect day in God's country and I ain't lying. Hey, what's going on with them young Detroit Tigers? Hey, for those of you who don't know, this is the Old English D for Detroit, but it's made out of the UP. This is a map of the UP up here, so this is a pretty cool little shirt, unique. I like this version of the Old English D. Thank you for taking yet another moment out of your day to hang out with me, Lucky Haskins. I kind of told myself I wasn't going to make any of these videos for the primary reason of everybody seeming to have interest in fighting and name-calling and mocking each other and stuff like that. And I just don't want any part of any of that horse shit. But I'm going to get right down to it. Let's talk about the rising Earth and some of my opinions. I did, a friend of mine told me, hey, send me a text like, hey, Lucky man, Rasta Bear is getting tore up by, or getting, hammered on by these rising Earth folks over on Not Chiquita's channel. And, you should go check it out or whatever. And later that night, I watched some of that and, again, man, lots of bickering and this and that and this and that. And I ain't throwing my hat in that ring. And I have friends that are interested in this rising Earth theory. So I've known a lot of these people for quite a while. I know a lot of these people are intelligent. And, I also dig, like Rasta Bear, man. I dig him a lot, man. He's always smiling and grinning. I love that shit. Rasta Bear always brings a smile, man, wherever he goes. And I take note of things like that, man. That's just me. So I like listening to Rasta Bear. However, that kind of discussion didn't go a long ways. It was kind of a lot of bickering back and forth and bantering. However, I got to see my first rising Earth type video. And again, I want to point out that I'm pretty ignorant of the discussion surrounding the reasons that people are saying that the Earth is rising. So if any of y'all want to, like the first time I spoke about it, somebody took the time to go, hey man, you do a lot of good work on other stuff, but you're absolutely ignorant when it comes to the rising Earth. You just don't know what's going on. And I think that's what Rasta Bear was complaining about. It's like, why am I being attacked by these people with a different view? I didn't do nothing to them or say nothing to them. And, whatever. If people are going to attack me for the things I'm going to say, then, I guess the conversation won't go anywhere. But I have friends of mine that I consider to be really good people that are saying, hey, Lucky, take a look at this rising Earth. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to take a look at this rising Earth, man. I got no problems with that. I don't think it's that weird to take a look at it. So of course, don't think the Earth is rising. So am I biased? Yeah. And I'm lacking knowledge and information as to what the arguments are from the rising Earth theory. However, they showed a video on that thing with Rasta Bear for apparently coming from the rising Earth side of the items in the van. Maybe anybody that's interested in this rising Earth discussion has maybe seen this video. And of course, what is the lesson of this, or what is the attempted demonstration? What are they attempting to demonstrate? Displacement and the fact that a force is required to put these objects in motion. And then interestingly, it shows that the helium balloon goes forward while the apple goes backwards. And of course, that's due to density. I think they agree on that and they understand that. The helium balloon is very, much less dense than the air in the van. So the heavy air is rushing to the back and the light air gets to go rushing towards the front, or whether it's pushed or whatever. But here's what I want to say about that experiment. Of course, it requires the van accelerating, which is, again, how they're demonstrating the force. Now, I just want to point out a couple of small things. If you're in the woods enough with a chainsaw in your hand, you learn about trees that you would call, at least what we called down in Tennessee when we was clearing trees, cutting trees, clearing views to the lake. Excuse me, they're trying to sell me some kind of protection. The mafia's chiming in. You learn that certain trees are loaded, what we would call loaded. What does loaded mean? Well, you can think of it like a spring. When you push a spring down, okay? Now, we talk about a force required to put something into action, into movement, or to cause displacement or whatnot. Well, once you push that spring down, okay, now it's loaded. It's not going to require a force to put it in motion because it's loaded. It's looking for motion. The second you release it, it's going to go into motion. Now, them two items that are in the van hanging there can also be put into motion without putting the van into motion. And of course, this is elementary level stuff. I'm not saying anything that I'm not posing an argument. I'm posing my opinions here. And I'm hoping that somebody will chime in with some more information regarding displacement. Because what I haven't seen yet is things falling. And I believe that they're trying to say that there's some videos out there showing that the air bubble in the bottle doesn't move when the bottle's falling, I believe. I could be wrong again. I haven't seen it yet, but I did see the one about the items in the van. Now, I want to point out that both of those items are what Lucky would call loaded, meaning while they're attached by their string, one way to put them into motion is to accelerate the van and they will move side to side. They're not loaded side to side. They are peacefully resting on their horizontal plane that's being established by the strings holding them in place. However, both of these items are loaded due to their density versus the density of the medium surrounding them, right? Again, we're talking about elementary level science here, right? The apple is fully loaded. You can prove this. Like if somebody says that apple's never going to move without a force. Okay, well, if I go and I cut the string, did I apply a force to that apple? Well, I didn't apply a force to that apple to get it to drop. It was fully loaded. Now, a force was required to put that apple into a loaded position. This is where I believe people are leaving this out of their thought process, okay? to get that apple to hang from that rope and then be what Lucky calls loaded, okay, like a spring, okay, it required a force to place that apple there. So is a force required? Are we supposed to assume that a force is required for that apple to unload itself, the power that we put into it, like winding up a clock? We wound it up. We loaded the apple by placing it in a medium that cannot support it. So if we cut the rope, the apple then falls. In my opinion, no force needed. In the rising Earth theory, the apple's getting now smacked. Somehow when we cut the rope, everything else in the vehicle keeps rising up with the Earth, but the apple will now get smacked with the rising Earth due to what, Lucky? The density of the apple. So in my opinion, we're adding an unnecessary force. Anything that falls from the sky because it's in a medium that has no ability to support it, required a force to put it there. Here's where people are getting confused, in my opinion. Okay, that object that will fall from the sky, whether you climb a ladder and drop a bottle of water, or you drop it from an airplane, okay, that item is pre-loaded. It required a force to get it there. And then people go, why doesn't it go up? The air's thinner. Because there is no medium to support this object. It is loaded. It is searching for its place in the density gradient. Why doesn't it go up, Lucky? Because there's nothing to support it. You have loaded it. If you take a beach ball to the lake and you swim underneath the water with this beach ball, it will get more and more difficult to hold on to the beach ball. It is fully loaded. What is causing that beach ball to be loaded, folks? Density and buoyancy, period. Now, is a force needed to make that beach ball rise back to the surface? No. You used a force to load the beach ball. So I think that any demonstrations of dropping stuff from the sky and claiming, well, the Earth must be rising and smacking it, are completely leaving out the force required to load that object. Somehow people don't seem to want to mention that, or don't think to mention that. Okay? Like winding up a wind-up clock, right? You're loading it. It functions on the release of that pressure. When you take a heavy object up a ladder, it is loaded. No force is required to put it in motion. It is simply going to try to find its preceding location in the density gradient. That's my opinion. So, what all of that means, in my opinion, is the next thing that I would like to see, if somebody is willing to leave a link under this video of these videos where they're dropping, I think, bottles of water, and the claim is that they're demonstrating that there's no force acting on it, and therefore the Earth is rising. Okay, I believe that's the claim. If I'm wrong, then, send me a video, whatever. But so that's the next thing I want to see. For any rising Earthers out there that want to get, take me next level on the rising Earth theory, I'm looking for a clear, poignant video demonstrating this lack of displacement or lack of force, and any argument against what I'm talking about when I claim that an item is loaded, and that item is clearly loaded by being out of position in the density gradient. Okay, that's pretty clear elementary level science to me. So that's where I'm at. I'm looking for the demonstration of people dropping stuff, loaded objects that are forced into a medium where they can't exist, right? Or can't be supported by. I think that's the part that people aren't looking at. That, like I said, I just call it loaded because of working in the forest. What a loaded tree means is it's not just going to go where you want it to go. You have to understand what is causing it to be loaded. Usually it's in some kind of a spring, right? It fell, got hooked on something. It's got spring action in it. We call that loaded. Well, the force is already there. The force already happened. Now it wants to be released, right? Anyway, just some simple common sense from old Lucky Haskins. You know, I ain't gonna do no name calling. I would suggest if y'all need to get it out and go, Lucky, you're so ignorant of this topic. Well, then go ahead and piss away your words and you know, be that way. Make it weird. I don't care. What I'm asking for is a link to a video of that's going to demonstrate a lack of force, I believe, is what Rising Earthers are trying to demonstrate. I don't believe a force is required. I just explained that. But, you know, what's so lucky know? I do know this. Ask yourself, who can I help today? And I do know this, that Daryl Davis is one of the most wonderful human beings on this earth that lies within the waters in this realm that we call home. You want to talk about brightening a guy's day? Man, I got a text from my friend Daryl out there at Flat Earth Farms today, and I've been grinning from ear to ear. Even my wife's grinning from ear to ear. I'm like, man, you know, the random kindness of human beings, and you know, there's just nothing. It leaves me speechless. I don't know what to say other than giant, huge shout out, my man Daryl Davis. What a wonderful human being, and man, I hope I can visit the Flat Earth Farms one day. That's like pie in the sky stuff for me right now, the life I've been living up here, man. But man, I would love to come out there and play for y'all at the Flat Earth Farms someday. It's on my bucket list, which was completed until now, by the way. So I done completed my bucket list, you know, by the time I was in 45.
Yo. How's everybody?
Really
Shlo,
left. Although,
London,
when I was a
Happy,
teenager, I always dreamed of
Logical's
opening a
in,
canoe
Little
livery.
Wing,
And so
Ryan
that
S.
could sort of, if the opportunity ever shows itself, I guess that could be one more thing that's kind of on the bucket list. But economically speaking, it's not a wise business decision. I just like
good
rivers
morning,
and I
guys.
like canoes. So anyway, ask yourself, who can I help today? Huge shout out, Flat Earth Farms, my man Daryl Davis, saving the world, one truth speaker at a time. My man put a huge smile on my face today. And anyway, thank you to each and every one of you. And you know, have a great day, y'all.
Today we're going old school. The old Gemini mission, Gemini
Thank you,
10,
guys.
to prepare astronauts supposedly to walk upon the moon. Also to dock whilst orbiting the moon. And the star of this clip is the Agena
Drink
docking
time,
craft, which we
onions,
can see on our screen.
that sausage,
We can see
sage,
antenna here,
sausage,
which is known as the dipole
onion,
radar
sage, pepper
antenna,
in hot
which the
water.
astronauts
Happy,
in their craft,
that's my
as they
remedy. There's a little
approached
remedy
the
there
Agena
for you,
docking
Happy.
craft, simulating orbiting the moon and docking.
Oh, Scott Level Realm coming.
They use
great to see
radar
Scott.
and this dipole radar antenna to gauge the distance
Hello,
between the
everybody.
two craft
Stephen Watson
to enable
coming.
them to dock
Jack.
safely, okay?
Amanda's
But the
here.
problem is, when we zoom in on the dipole radar
Hey,
antenna,
Yannick. Logical, yeah.
we can see it's solid. It's one solid piece of metal. It's got a cable wrapped around it, but it's not telescopic like a car aerial, where you've got several pieces in a tube that extend in and out. This radar antenna is solid. And there lies the problem. Because as you're going to see now when we look at the clips here, the radar antenna is actually bigger than the actual spacecraft, the width of the spacecraft. And with it not being telescopic, that's a bit of a
Might be a bit too
problem.
loud. You might not be able to hear me.
It's bigger than the craft it supposedly travelled to space in. So let's have a quick look, and then I'm going to show you with a comparison. But pay particular attention in some of the clips and some of the photography here we see, the stills, how big this antenna is. And again, look at the images, and you'll be able to see it's not telescopic in any shape or form.
This shows the station keeping maneuver. What you do during station keeping is to look the Agena vehicle over very carefully. You inspect it from stem to stern to make sure that nothing has gone wrong during the boost phase. You look at the instruments on the status display panel, and you check
Hang on a minute, what happened to the Earth then? What happened to your globe Earth? It disappeared for a minute.
to make sure that nothing has gone wrong during the boost phase.
Globe Earth. Oh,
You look at the instruments on the status display panel,
Ridiculous.
and you check the equipment over thoroughly to make sure that it's okay for the docking maneuver. We've taken many pictures of this because it's quite a sight. Quite a sight.
It is. Look how big that antenna is.
Oreos. Yeah, that's another one. That's another one I want to do as well.
Remember, it's not.
Is the Oreos strain on a? There's the that last strain. What was it called? Well, I've got it bookmarked. I forgot what it's called. That last one. Yeah, that and yeah, some Oreos or something. So I've heard about these strains, but I've never done them. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind giving that a go. I've heard they're nice. I've heard it's nice Oreo. Haven't been sick in 6 years. Good stuff, Laura. Haven't been sick in 6 years. I wasn't sick before I got sick with the you know what a couple of years ago. Last year the you know what. I can't talk about it. I'll get medical misinformation strike. So the big C, right? Before that, I hadn't been ill. I couldn't even tell you how long. It must have been 20 years or something. I hadn't been ill, sniffles or anything. No cold flus. That's why I was shocked. That's why I was so shocked when they said I had that. I was just like, there's no chance. There's no way. It's got to be something else.
Telescopic.
That vehicle is 26 feet long. It holds about 3,000 pounds of
Chocolate. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. That's what. That's what's going. That's what's happening now. That one. But no, there's another one. What was the last one that you give me the site and I bookmarked it on her. I bookmarked the site, but I can't. No, I can't get to it.
The size of that antenna.
It's the size.
And we were awfully glad to see her.
That antenna's huge.
This shows a still, and it shows the effect of the vehicle. I thought I could explain this a little better while you can see it. That front part is the docking cone.
Yeah, ultraviolet, the blue, the black light. I'm not too sure if it actually helps, to be honest with you, Shlo. The UV and stuff, and the putting black light. I've used them before. I used the black light once. I got it out of my fish tank, one of my old fish tanks, UV black, and yeah, I used it. It didn't really make that much difference. I didn't think anyway. But I could have been wrong. I could have been using it wrong. It was when I first started. I just had all these arrays of lights, loads of lights. Mate, I was making lamps and everything just to try and get and then I realised you could just go and buy the professional equipment. So this is when I very, very first started. I didn't have no lights, no nothing at all. All I had was a bag full of seeds, and I didn't have a clue what to do with them. So it was just like plant them, see what happens. I ended up with about 2 rows of 8. 2 rows of 8, what was it, UK cheese. And I didn't realise how big the bloody things got. And they got massive, man. They got so big. It was like a jungle in my garden. I had to super crop them down below the fence. I was getting paranoid. I was looking out my window, making sure people... Hilarious. But yeah, when you first grow them, you don't realise how big they grow, especially outside. It just starts to freak you out a bit. You start thinking, shit.
Top long antenna is a dipole antenna which radar locks onto a cooperative transponder, and the engine, which
Chocolate Kush, yeah, 14 quid, 3 seeds. Nice.
The vehicle is parallel to the Earth's surface right now. Notice how it looks like it's tilted up at the end. That's due to horizon dip. At an altitude of
Chocolate Kush, yeah, I knew what you mean,
16
man.
degrees between
We paid $40 for 3 seeds. Yeah.
And the horizon.
You'd need a globe Earth for that, bud. Cool story and all that, but you'd need a globe Earth for that to be real, and that's physically impossible.
I can't remember the first. I can't remember the first strain I ever grew professionally. Like when I had to set up, and I can't remember what it was. I was buying so many different seeds, all these grapefruits and all this nonsense. Just the ones that sounded the best and that had the best sort of THC content and flavours. Well, I was just picking them, all these weird seed strains. I think it might have been something like, it might have been White Widow. It might have been White Widow. Might have been the first strain I ever grew, because it's quite easy to grow, right? You don't have no troubles with it. Just basically plant it and bloody grow the thing. But yeah, I'm sure it was a strain like White Widow.
The moon mission,
which is actually, Widow's not too bad. It's not great. It's like an average weed, isn't it? White Widow. A lot of people think it's nice. I don't see what the big.
It's nonsense anyway. We've
It's
got
okay.
a bit of an
I
issue
think
with the
it's
aerial.
not brilliant.
The
Not
fact
bad.
it's not telescopic.
Black
And the
lights
models are
matter.
propped
Good one, Dan. Black lights matter. Yeah, so I don't know if they work or not. A lot of people swear by those like UV, especially like through flower, right?
Here.
That's what I got told, through flower, last 4 weeks.
Because the antenna's bigger than the craft it travelled to space in. Come on, model department. Come on, prop department. You should have at least made this telescopic. And it might have been a little bit believable. I'm just going to do a side-by-side here.
That's a huge aerial, man.
So what I've done here is do a side-by-side of the same craft, the Aegina docking craft, using the bottom one as a reference and its antenna, showing its antenna to reach the outside edge of the top one. And by doing that, when I fade one to the other, you can see the gap in between the two craft. And it gives you some idea of how much bigger that antenna is over the craft it supposedly travelled to space in. It's too big. And the fact that antenna is not telescopic is a problem.
How you doing, Happy?
Fans, I'm sure you're going to come up with some gibberish in the comments section.
Imperium, 38%, Chimera,
please,
cut 28, 5.
It's a shame you haven't.
Yeah. I'm looking. I might look at that Chimera myself.
To back your original.
You might have to
about space, it being a vacuum, and the Earth being a.
You might have to send us the info or the place where you're going to, Slow, so I can take a close look at those seeds, man.
Air pressure ball residing in the middle of that vacuum. Now that might have been believable, like I said, if there was some practicality to
Imperium strain is said to have been newly discovered cannabinoids in it that are 30 times. Yeah. So
solid separation.
the Imperium, okay, yeah. You just have to give us some information on that Imperium strain, then. I'll look it up. Is it in most like seed sites you go to? Is that Imperium? Is it in there? Is it stocked up? I'm gonna have to take a look at it. Do you know the genetics of it, Shalo? The mother and the father. Do you know the genetics? Do you know what they were crossed? Normally something really strong and crossed with something really strong. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, what's happened to the old weed? It's disappeared.
That
actually disappeared.
The fact alone destroys space. And then when you look at the old...
Yeah, I'm okay. Cheers, Happy. I'm feeling okay. As I said, I was meant to go for that last test, but they were running like hours behind, so I just rebooked it. So I've got to go there next week, and hopefully I can get the all clear, man. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to get the all clear, buddy. What about you? Are you good? Hope all's well there, Happy, for you, dude.
I gotta say, I just love it. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Oh, look, honours on the case with the Chimera, man.
Open the doors. Go outside. He's a look down there. Look at zoom in. That castle there. What a fairy castle. Let me show you that one time. The lasses are playing hockey today. Noisy buggers. Oh, yeah. They're playing cricket over there. Cricket as well. And I'll show you this. Finito Drim. The nightmare is over.
Hey.
Right, here we go.
Oh, we watched this, didn't we? Did we watch this, Jules? Yeah, we did watch this.
tiny wee ensuite.
Nice job, though.
Oh, that was my head. Only a wee 4-inch fan. Might hit to get a bigger fan, but hey, we'll see. So, finito. Looking no bad. Better than it was.
Imperium, London Sea. Oh, they've got it.
So that's
Oh, they've got them. Nice one, nice one, nice one. Thank you very much. Let me just check out this Imperium, guys. I've got to check it out quickly. I've got to check this out, just see what it's about. Imperium X. Here we go. Right, strain profile. Let's have a look. Cut winner note, medicinal note, flowering type standard, yield very high THC, low CBD, medium high, 9 to 10 weeks. Mainly sativa. Oh, it's sativa. Okay, everyone's getting into the sativas. The one I'm doing is like, I think 80% or 90, might be 90%. Not too bad. Not too bad. Is there any one of the strongest strains in the world, combining outstanding traits like no other cannabis strains before. She is based on 3 extremely THC-rich cannabis strains. The Rare City of God, the White Angel, that's a white strain there straight away, and that's going to be quite potent. And Anesia's Overwhelming Potent Future. Oh, so it's got 3, City of God, the White Angel, Potent Future mixed in together. 4.7, nice. It's got quite. It's only 2 reviews, but yeah, doesn't really. I like more detail in the description. That's why I like going to the one I go to, because it tells you all the percentages there. Tells you exactly what it's cost with. You can again, it's nice, man. Look at that. Look at the trikes on that, and it's getting that nice purple. I think what's happened with Shalo, that epic buzz, where it turns like purple in those last like 3 weeks. I think it might have affected Shalo. He likes his purple bud now, don't you, Shalo? It's got lovely. I've got to admit, with purple strains, you do get a nice flavour. You do get nice terps. But that does look lovely, doesn't it? It looks like a beautiful bud. Looks like a beautiful bud. I might have to try that. See what it's like. What's down here then? Sticky Booth. White Runts there. Yeah, looks like a. So that's White Widow and Runts Muffin. It does look a bit like White Widow. Purple Boost High. That looks nice. Purple Boost. That looks really nice. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Like that. Let's check out this other one. Chimera. Let's just check this out quickly, because I just want to see what these are like. As I said, that epic, oh, that looks really nice. Good. What I like about that is bud to leaf ratio, right? Another good thing to look for, bud to leaf ratio. You don't want. I mean, I've noticed a lot of the sativa strains, they can get quite leafy. Right. Gear up for the Chimera cut, the latest masterpiece from the green geniuses of Anisa Seeds. The feminized phenome is the love child of the enigmatic Chimera and the legendary cut, blending a smooth 60% in. Oh, this is more my type vibe, and that seems more like it for me. More of a split. I mean, 60-40 is good for me. 60 indica, 40. All about chilling deep with your creativity. Yeah, this is the one for me, I think. Chimera. You can get into your music and everything then. Medium height as well, good. 8 to 9 weeks, so it's quite early. Not too bad. Mainly indica, nice. Very high, over 20%. Low CBD, standard. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I mean that chocolate I'm growing out at the moment won loads of cups. Yeah, when it first come out, won loads of cups. So your it says cup when it chocolate would be yes, medicinal. I don't know if it's medicinal. I think it is. But yeah, that's probably the one. Both of those look really nice, to be honest. They do look nice, but I think this is be the one for me. Bits of purple in it, you know, looking nice. Some nice yellows as well. Yeah, nice. That's doesn't tell you the exact THC content, does it? Again, Haze Queen looks nice. That looks nice. The dankness looks really nice as well. Can you see how they're like, you know, not all weeds are identical. They've all got their own sort of like look and colour to them. They probably all smoke completely different as well. Yeah, so cheers for that on. I will take a look at them.
Done and dusted.
Oh, nice. Got the info sheet there.
What's going on, everyone? No intro today. Something else going on. We've got the day of Jake the Asshole, believe it or not. A lot of stuff coming out, but here we go again. Let's talk about this 100% piece of shit.
So this is the guy that Snatchy Beta, the dictator / infiltrator. This is the guy that Snatchy likes to hang about with. This guy on the screen. I wonder why no one's seen him in Natchy's chat for a while. Since we've been calling it out. I wonder, Natchy. This is how pathetic the guy is, right? It wrenched him, and then he's probably said to him, "Oh, Jake, you can't come into my chat no more because I'm getting too much hassle." No, Natchy, you know what he's like. Come on. You knew what he was like and you still wrenched him. That shows me exactly what you're like, quoting all this Buddha stuff. You ain't got no Buddhism in you. You need to start following your own words, dude.
He's been attacking people for a couple weeks now, and he went too far. You know, yesterday he decided to include my family. Bad move, and today he threatened to kill me. Worst move.
Damn. You threatened to kill Jared? I know this was a few years ago. Oh, here it is. Lovely basic videos in Imperium. Nice. 36% nice. So they're all using the UVB, aren't they? Oh, look, this is what I want to see. Is this genetic 60/40? Oh, it says 60/40 the Imperium as well. It's actually 60/40. 60 sativa, 40 indica. I thought it was. That's not bad. Not bad. Harvest outdoors. Height's not bad. THC very strong. Flavors pineapple. Nice. Sandal. What? What? Aromas and flavors, pineapple and sandal. I mean, a sandal is like a flip flop, right? It's like Gandhi's flip flop. I mean, you don't want that in your aromas and flavors, do you? Gandhi's flip flop, pineapples and sandal. I don't get that. What's a Is that a flavor of a? Am I missing something? We're not talking sandals that go on your feet. You know, sweaty sandals. Sandal. No, I've got to be getting it wrong. No way would the flavour be sandals. That's the worst flavour ever. Right, yeah, nice one for that. Slow, yeah, it tells me a lot about that. Do I buy another UVB light for the last 3 weeks? I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, guys.
In a few moments, we're going to actually hear Jake tell us about when he abuses those with autism. It's great, isn't it? And all I can ask of you guys with the videos he's going to keep putting out, because again, he has nothing to lose. So have some discernment here. This guy has no home. He's got no family. He's got no wife. He's got no girlfriend. He's got no children. He's got no balls to come and fight me. I've already offered to fight. He didn't want to fight. I offered something else. He didn't want to do that either, because he obviously has less than a 4-inch dick, I'm guessing. Clearly, he has nothing to lose, and so he keeps lying, and clearly he's heading towards a very dark and bad place. So we all know that he used to work with autistic people and sing for the elderly, so he says. I'm guessing this is the type of job that he hopes to return to. Well, guess what? Not on my watch. What exactly is considered abuse? Can Jake, who works with autistic...
It's good to just remind people who they're having in their chat, isn't it, Natchy? It's good just to have a little reminder, just to humble yourself a little bit, Natch, that the people that you give wrenches to in your chat are complete idiots and arseholes. And then when I'm getting attacked in your chat from a complete mong and I protect myself, defend myself, you time me out. You timed me out. Thank you for that, Natchy. Thank you for that.
Adults abuse them legally? I don't think so. In fact, in this video, I include images of cases where these people who abuse those with special needs are arrested for their crimes. It's a crime. See, Jake, you can tell people that my show...
Oh, sandalwood. Okay. Not some flip-flops then. All it said was sandals. I just thought, what? No weed wants to smell like old sandals. This really come. Natchy banned banner. Yeah. He did. I'm probably banned from there now. Just because I stuck up for myself. I'm probably banned. But you probably banned me. He doesn't like people telling him the real truth. That's what it is, Natchy. Natchy lives in his little bubble of fucking Mandela and all sorts of nonsense.
And as I told everybody, if you suspect someone is a pedo, call the police. You were quick to say, well, you never accused me. You never, ever accused me of being a pedo. Yeah, I know, because you're just talking shit.
Duh! That's why you don't have any video examples of me calling you 100% a pedophile. Because I don't have any proof of that. Guys, I don't have any proof that Jaren's a pedophile. But I do...
Yeah, there's a lot of these weird, soy, feminine, weak men going around. Spewing nonsense, and when they haven't, they should listen to their own advice. You got Natchy spewing Buddhism, and he's treating people with no compassion, full of ego, and that's the complete opposite to what a Buddhist does. Natchy, you've been captured. You can call me Shifu Banner from now on. Natchy, Shifu. You call me Shifu, right? Remember the mantra, Natchy. Ah, me, tofu. That's meant to be replaying in your mind constantly. But no, not when it comes to your show, Natchy. That all goes out the window. Buddhists and treating others with compassion and fairness. No. When it comes to your show, it's the opposite, isn't it, Natch?
His show is, in my opinion...
You just got to laugh at it. It's hilarious. If you sit back and take a look, it's just... it is funny that these men with no women in their lives sort of end up like Natchy and one man and his detector. They all end up like them, didn't they? All soppy, start crying at the slightest thing. Get butthurt over words. Start crying over words. I mean, come on, guys.
PEDO vibe. See what I just said there? I have proof of my opinion that his show is putting off a PEDO vibe. But I don't have any proof that Jaren is a pedophile. I have zero proof that Jaren is a pedophile. But I do have proof that my opinion is that his show puts off a PEDO vibe.
Well, good for you and your opinion. Too bad they hold no weight. But I'm not giving anyone my opinion when I say Jake is an abuser of the mentally challenged. I'm not talking shit like Jake in a desperate attempt to get views.
So Jake abused people with autism. He says it. He actually admits it. He abused people with autism. He abused a homeless person when he was drunk outside the garage, right? So this dude's an abuser, and you can't tell that, Natchy? You're this great seer, this great guru. You can't see that this guy's an arsehole? And you wrenched him? That just tells me so much about you, Natchy. Snatchy Beta, the dictator / infiltrator.
Please remember, this guy says that he has been sent here by God. Well, Jake, I do have evidence, and I do have proof. Spraying a person with autism routinely with mace is a crime. You are an abuser who will end up behind bars for your actions.
Hey, Dorian, what's up?
So
Dorian, you didn't get no...
Can find me.
You didn't get no notifications. Was the bell thing on? They like to switch these bells off because that's what I've noticed. That's what they do with me. They just switch these bells off, so I don't get no notifications from nobody.
Family, in the Modesto area, 25 years age, about. He's got autism. Or help me by leaving the name of Jake's employer in the comments. I definitely will be reporting this to the Modesto police along with the death threat. You can do the same, or you can let Jake continue to show up and get paid to mace more mentally challenged people, or even possibly the elderly.
Well, according to one man and his detector, when you jump out of a plane, you don't weigh anything. You're weightless. You don't weigh nothing because the scales ain't pressing against your feet. So if you try and weigh yourself as you go, obviously not, right? So in his mind, you're now weightless. Come on, man. A simple parachute opening up completely debunks that. Completely debunks it. A parachute wouldn't work without the counterbalance, the counterweight, which is you, on the bottom of it, putting tension on the wires, right? Because if that counterweight, you, the balance wasn't there at the bottom, right, it would collapse instantly. That's the way parachutes work. So you do weigh something. What, you're weightless when you're falling, and then when you pull the chute, you get all your weight back suddenly? Is that what happens? So you do weigh what you weigh when you're falling in free fall. That's what I said from the beginning. They're trying to tell me that I don't weigh anything. And I'm saying, as the person jumping out of the plane, falling, you still weigh what you weigh when you jump out. You don't become weightless. What a stupid thing to say. Absolutely retarded. They just don't think these things through. I mean, if I can sit there just thinking about it, having a joint, thinking, hang on, the whole point of a parachute working is to have that weight at the bottom, right? Which is you. So, yeah, you need to start thinking about these. I mean, if I can think this through, anyone can, right?
More coming today. Today is the day of the asshole. Stay tuned. Way to go, Jake.
Hey, what's up, Chills? Great to see you, dude. Great to see you.
And I work with this one dude who would fucking sometimes get all angry and want to attack me. And he was like a fucking 250-pound fucking 5-year-old dude. But he had the brain of like
if you're weightless, then jump without a shoe.
Dispense his medication and just fucking babysit him all day, basically. Now imagine a dude who's twice your size, who has like the...
Daycare workers charged with Snapchat videos showing assault and abuse of autism. Oh, is that actually Jake?
Who's like a fucking 25-year-old dude, but has the brain of maybe a fucking 8-year-old or whatever. And
hey, Chills, how you doing? I hope you're good, Chills.
Fight you every once in a while, like, you know what I mean? It was like, and you're not allowed to beat his ass. You know what I mean? But you have to try to fucking protect yourself. And then it's like...
No, I get that. Like I get that, they say the Earth's rising up and it's at constant speed, so when you're off of that, you start decelerating from that speed. I get all that. But to say that you don't weigh anything, that you become weightless, and you're telling that to the person that's actually falling, you're weightless. Do you feel weightless? No, I still feel exactly what I weigh.
Where you're at that dude's house, and it's just you and just him, no one else, and you have to fucking decide what you want to do, whether you want to fucking beat his ass back, or just fucking call your boss and tell him what's going on, or just fucking deal with him without calling your boss. Because if you call your boss and say he's punching me, he's hurt me, he's coming after me, then you have to fill out a bunch of fucking paperwork.
Hey, Dr. B, Dr. Bunson's in the house. Great to see you, Doctor. Hey, Finn.
Am I going to subdue this guy and just not tell my word?
Earth Nation's in the house. Dr. B's in the house. Great to see you guys.
Or am I going to fucking, like, report everything started to get more crazy and more crazy, where it started to turn into, like, once a week he would attack me, twice a week, and it started turning into almost every shift. He can't tell my boss every shift he's attacking me, because then they fucking call his mom and send in other people, and then you lose the shift. You lose the hours for that day, even if it's not your fault or nothing. You can like hang out there all day and just not tell the boss. And you know what I was doing? Even I was spraying the motherfucker with mace.
How you doing, Fiona? How you doing, Fiona? You good? So, Jake started spraying this guy with autism with mace. Wow.
Leave me the fuck alone. That job, my job, I was showing up and spraying a motherfucker with mace routinely. So many times that you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna, because I beat his ass one time, and they're like, how did all these marks end up on Salvador? I don't know. Maybe it was one of the other staff, you know? To where
Wow.
I had to fucking protect myself, and dude was coming at me every shift to where, like, I fucking bought some mace and was spraying.
One of Natchy's friends. One of Natchy's friends that he trusts, that he gave a wrench to, is this guy. Beats up autistic people, sprays them with mace, abuses homeless. And these are the kind of characters that are in Natchy's chat. Good one, Natchy.
Spraying the motherfucker. And he would just go in the bathroom, rinse his face out, and then come at me again. I don't do that because I'm not a fucking scumbag.
I don't know. I think that we all would disagree, Jake. Share this video, guys. Repost it on your channel. If not, well, thanks for being part of the problem. And, Jake, man, I think you are a scumbag. Imagine that.
Imagine that. And this is all fake. This is all fake crying, acting. Because he admitted it.
Was Eric Dubay singing for the fucking elderly?
Was Eric Dubay singing for the elderly?
Did Eric Dubay spray any people with autism with mace?
Mace? Did Eric Dubay abuse homeless people outside the 24/7? I don't think he did, Jake.
Was Richie from Boston singing for the fucking elderly?
Nope, but he wasn't routinely spraying people with autism in the face with mace either.
Did Daryl Marble sing for the elderly?
You know, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure I know Daryl Marble would never spray somebody with autism
Or
in the face with mace.
abuse homeless people.
Did Patrick Steer sing for the elderly?
I'm pretty sure she was busy that day, not spraying people in the face with mace.
Did any of your favorite fucking truthers ever once go to a fucking nursing home and sing for the elderly?
Again, Jake, you got paid to do it. You got paid to sing to the elderly just like you got paid to spray that 25-year-old in the face with mace repeatedly while his family...
But you abused the homeless person outside the garage for free, didn't you? Jake, you abused the person outside the homeless dude. You abused him for nothing. He was just drunk. So you thought you'd just abuse the homeless.
Family knows nothing.
Unbelievable.
Guess what? They're going to find out now.
And then be told they can't do it anymore? No, they didn't. If you want to fucking consider me crying right now some sort of like a pussy move, I would kill you if you were in front of me.
No, you wouldn't, Jake. You're like 4 foot tall. You're 4'6". How are you? I'll just put my arm out to you, and you'll be swinging air. I'll just put my hand on your head like this. You'll just be swinging air, Jake. You can fit him in the palm of your hand, Jake. He's that tiny. I'm sure he's smaller than Brian Staveley. Staveley's like 4'7", 8. So he must be like 4'5". Incredibly tiny, Jake.
Say that to my face.
I would.
I sang for the fucking elderly. This is the last fucking concert.
Jake could cry the arsehole. QMV loves Jake. Yeah.
They won't let me. They won't.
QMV and Jake are like bum buddies, aren't they? They're a couple of bum buddies. I haven't seen.
Let me in the fucking building.
And you shouldn't be allowed in the building of any elderly home or of any house.
You should be banned from all elderly people's homes. Anyone, with autism or some sort of mental illness or anything like that, Jake should be kept away from them by the authorities. He abuses these kind of people and then he cries about it because no one's bought his book.
with any children or mentally challenged people for you to prey upon.
Yes.
Get help, Jake.
I agree.
But you're the biggest pussy that I know. You're challenging cripples to fights, but
Hey,
declining
Mr.
mine.
Ches, how you doing?
And now you're spraying mentally challenged individuals with mace? Yeah. Yeah, the bets are over. The only bet that you should be making is what side of the padded room you're going to hit first when they throw you in. Good day.
I don't do that because I'm not a fucking scumbag. 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 Fucking scumbag.
Yeah, I heard that QNV Schlo painted himself blue.
This is a short video.
That's why I heard that. QNV, I heard when they jumped in that tub together and they were watching the Olympics, QNV covered himself in blue. For some reason, he wore a little nutsack. with Jake.
Discussing optics and perspective in the context of, is the sun circling over the flat Earth? Is the sun a simulation? Or is the heliocentric model correct? We're going to touch on perspective, optics,
Confirmed, 100% confirmed.
and the firmament. How does perspective affect what we see? We understand that things further away from us appear to be smaller, but is there more to it? Can we selectively ignore perspective and optics, even when it provably affects everything we see? Can we be mistaken about what we see? Can we be fooled by what we see? When it comes
Fruit
to
plate
perspective and
performance.
optics, can we trust our own senses? What about things above us? Do the same rules apply?
Yes.
Sure, our eyes can be fooled, but let's apply this to how we can see the sun.
Yeah, I need a coffee as well.
sun go
I need a
when
coffee.
it sets?
Good shout, Ches. I'll be back in a sec, guys.
24-hour sun in the south. Does the sun actually circle over the Earth? Is the sun just one part of a gigantic simulation? When we're talking about perspective on the globe, we obviously need to apply some perspective to things, mainly on the ground. But at the same time, we must pretend perspective does not apply to things looking up. What about perspective when looking at things in the distance? The elusive curve has to come in somewhere, otherwise we're not on a globe. So at some point, we're forced to replace perspective for curvature. What about simulation earthers? The simulation Earth has gained some traction recently, and it seems they claim the sun and perhaps everything we see is part of a gigantic simulation. Do they think God put us in a gigantic 3D simulation? What about everything we see? Is it really not there? Do simulation earthers think the sun is literally crashing into the ground? Because it seems they reject perspective as a reason for the sunset. Do they understand perspective, optics, refraction, Atmos lensing? It seems their view on perspective is rather limited, kind of like the Globers. What about the sun circling over the flat Earth? First, let's have a look at what the scriptures say about the sun. First Enoch, chapter 2, verse 4 says, "And again observe ye the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth over against it." So it's saying the sun is above the earth. Second Enoch chapter 2 verse 65 says, "In like manner 12 doors Uriel showed me open in the circumference of the sun's chariot in the heaven, through which the rays of the sun break forth, and from there is warmth diffused over the earth when they are opened at their appointed season. So it seems like they're saying the sun moves around in a chariot, and the chariot has a circumference in which it moves. 1 Esdras chapter 4 verse 34 says, "The earth is great, the sky is high, the sun is swift in its course, for it circles around the sky and returns on its course again in one day." So it literally says the sun circles around the sky. Perspective versus angle of observation. We already know the spell the Globers are under, but what about the simulation Earthers? According to their videos, they state they have debunked perspective because the triangulation methods of measuring the distance to the sun seem to fail. They also state the sun doesn't shrink as it goes away from your position. Let's consider our angle of observation. There are two Earth balls on the floor. Let's pretend they are the sun at two different distances away. We can clearly see the closer sun is larger and the further sun is smaller. What if we change our perspective, change our distance to the objects that are close and far away? Now the furthest away sun doesn't look that much smaller than the close sun. Our sun is not right in front of us, it's up high in the sky. Maybe that could explain why it doesn't seem to shrink as it travels the same as if it would if it were nearby.
Take care, London.
So we need
Hey,
to
Dr. E, how you
consider
doing?
how our eyes work from distances when it comes to perspective. Atmos lensing. What about sunsets where our sun looks huge? In these cases, the sun looks much bigger than it did at noon when it was right over our head. Did the sun grow in size from its noon position? What about times where the sun looks tiny in the distance? It seems weather and atmos conditions play into a lensing effect. When we look across the sky towards the horizon, we witness the view to our sun with more atmos conditions. When we look straight up towards sun at noontime, we witness the sun with less atmos conditions. Why does it appear the sun is sometimes much larger at sunset than at noontime? The answer is atmos lensing. This lensing effect can change based on our atmos conditions, such as moisture. This is why it's important when taking pictures of the stars or the planets. It's best done when you shoot pictures straight up.
Good morning, Stephen.
So this lensing effect can work against perspective in that the sun can actually appear magnified as it moves away from us. What about the firmament? Genesis 1:7 says, "And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so." Many of us have seen the Hebrews cosmology illustrations. Many of these show the sun and moon hanging under the firmament. What if the sun is in the firmament or on the firmament rather than hanging below the firmament? And why would this matter?
Hey, Cap.
Jubilees chapter 2
Welcome.
verse 8 says, "And on the fourth day he created the sun and the moon and the stars, and set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon all the earth, and to rule over the day and the night, and to divide the light from the darkness." So it says the sun and the moon and stars are in the firmament, not under it. Testament of Solomon, verse 114 says, "For the stars have firm foundations in the heavens like the sun and the moon." So this implies the sun and the moon have something firm to rest on, to sit on.
This guy's no longer on the ball. I think he comes from the biblical flat Earth side, but you know, he seems like a cool dude.
Let's look at this example of a swimming pool with a man standing in water and the effects of refraction. In physics, refraction is defined as the change in direction of a wave passing from one medium to another. In this example, we are looking through air into water. We can see the separation of his head in the air and his body in the water. At different angles, we can even see the effects vary. Maybe these moon waves or firmament waves are more proof of water above the firmament, or even the luminaries, how they often look like they are lights in water. Try to triangulate the distance to the fish you see in this pond. We know the density of air changes thinner the higher we go, and we know that the lighter gases are above that. So in essence, we have different...
Hey, welcome Andy. It has been a while, Andy. Hope you're good.
Water, but different mediums nonetheless. We don't know if the sun in the firmament is in a different medium. The firmament, perhaps, is a superfluid-like medium, or perhaps even water itself.
There you go, Chills. Superfluid. Firmament be a superfluid or just water? These are the big questions, right? Because I've always said I don't think that this firmament is solid. I don't think it's a solid structure. I think it's something else. That's just my opinion.
So you can see, there's many factors at play that can affect our vision and ability to triangulate distances to things in the sky. To summarize, we have distance
no longer on the ball.
Observation.
He's on a flat Earth wiki. Check him out. Is he?
Perspective.
What? He's on flat Earth wiki. True Earth Wiki Talk with NL. Oh, right. Oh, okay. I only come across him not long ago. What one did I like it? Oh, I think it was the perspective one that he did. Yeah, that's the one. About 10 days ago, probably a couple of weeks. Okay. He does quite a few. Same show. Check that out, guys, if you're interested.
Scriptures describing the sun circling over us. Atmos conditions, specifically heat and moisture, causing lensing. Refraction of different mediums and layers.
Chez, where is Volkermeyer and who the fuck is Volkermeyer? Nobody knows Volkermeyer. Nobody in this. I've been in this online 10 years, right? I've never heard of the name Volkermeyer ever. Where is Will pulling these people from? Like, this dude's on Facebook. He's got like 200 subscribers or something, and like, Will thinks he's some prominent flat earther that you invited to Antarctica. What the hell, Will? Will, what are you doing? Nobody knows Volker bloody Meyer, Will. You should do some research and ask some people in the flat earth maybe community and ask them if they've ever heard of Volker Meyer, because no one else has.
Or even the firmament. Until these things that provably affect our vision and ability to measure things in the sky are included in your so-called debunking of the circular moving sun video.
Where is Volker Meyer? Who is Volker Meyer? Why is Volker Meyer?
I'm sticking to what we see. It just makes sense when you take all these things into consideration. I'm sticking to what the scriptures say.
He does. He sounds like a villain from a Bond movie. Volker Meyer. You know, sitting there with his monocle, stroking his fucking cat. That's what.
At least for
Volker
me,
Meyer.
it
What the
seems
hell?
The sun circles the earth.
Sounds like a weed strain. He's from outer space. No one knows where he's from, Andy. No one knows. Oh, this is Tommy. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's German. I'm sure he's German. Yes, I'm sure he's German, Jax. I think Leo did a video the other day, Jax. I don't know if you caught it. I think it's on the list. It's on the list anyway, so we're probably going to see it. He appeared through some portal. Hey, Bill. How you doing, Bill? Going on here? What is going on there? Where's the plane? Is that the plane? Why are these chemtrails so far away? Must be like. Oh, there it is. That weird.
Sorry, no camera stand.
Hey there, Nemo. Welcome.
Much love.
Oh, nice. Oh, just about to see. Oh, this is Samfu, Sun and Moon Family United. His actual name is Hacker.
Please can someone help explain how on this flight the moon is
below the horizon? This shot here proves that we live in a local system. The moon is below the horizon. Now think about that.
below the horizon by quite some way.
How you doing, Baron?
So undoubtedly, unmistakably, that is the building. I've got no problem whatsoever with that assumption. I concur that the building you can see is this concrete silo in Sharpton's Docks. So with the correct viewer height of 20 feet, we get a hidden value of 160 feet. I'm not even going to account for refraction, which we should be doing, by the way. That means
Sky 3 just obliterates Simon Dan with her observations. Simon Tran is just speaking absolute nonsense.
At least 50
Every time he talks, he just speaks nonsense.
feet of that building should be visible.
There is some mirage,
Guy's
I
the
get
biggest
that,
clown there
but we
is.
can pretty much see all of it, yeah?
I'm glad you mentioned the miraging. If we go back to his original freeze frame, you can clearly see a good example of a Fata Morgana, which is a form of superior mirage due to the refraction of light.
No. You're flipping the script on us, folks. It's refraction's working the opposite as they claim it is.
You might notice that you can see a flipped image at the base of the bridge footings. If we draw a line in like this, then we can clearly see the actual horizon. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
What's this? Why haven't you just done a line? What is this line? Why is it so thick and done like this? Why isn't it? Come on, Dan. Are you being dishonest, Dan? I think Dan's being really dishonest.
Wrong, but that does not look like our building is completely visible. I'd say, just under half is visible, and that ties in a lot more with what we'd expect to see. This humble pie I've got here, Adam, you're more than welcome to if you like.
Shut up, your mom.
It was observations and videos like this, early on, that fueled our questioning of the globe model of our given radius. This was some years back, so maybe...
Oh, right, now we know why that line was so bloody thick, right? Right, we got you, so there'll be a line there, showing you where the mirror effect is happening, right? Where the actual horizon actually is. That's all water. This is all water. This bit here, from this line down here, is just reflection of this.
Dan would have a different view on this image now, but this certainly appears to be an inferior mirage, not a superior mirage. And we know that distant objects appear lower than they actually are with inferior mirage and or sinking refraction present. This can easily be demonstrated by viewing over level bodies of water at short distances and low vantage points where curvature cannot factor in. Here, the center of the camera lens is placed at 1.5 inches above the surface each day, and the opposite bank is around 1,000 feet from the observer. And with inferior mirage present,
take care forever, love. Have a great day, and hopefully we see you Saturday.
Surface appear lower than they actually are, while the light from the bottom 8 inches or so of the bank does not arrive to the viewer. So, the camera in Level Earth observer's observation was around 20 feet above the surface. The building was 21 miles away and 213 feet tall. If we assume a level plane, that gives the building a top angle of nearly 1/10 of a degree. This is similar to an object at 2 feet above the surface, viewing from 1.5 inches at 1,000 feet away, like in our observations. That top angle would be a bit more than 1/10 of a degree. So this observation can be explained across a level plane surface with light refraction causing inferior mirage and downward displacement of distant objects.
That means at least 50 feet of that building should be visible.
But if the Earth were a sphere of our given radius, with inferior mirage present, you would expect to see even less than the top 50 feet of the building, not more of it.
Yeah.
The entire horizon drops. Boop. This is now a false horizon because it is created by refraction, which is what happens in a mirage over distance.
Oh, look, look, look! It's going over the curve of the lake. It's going over it's going over the curve of a 1,000-foot lake. The camera's 2 inches above the surface of the water. This is exactly what we observe when we look at it to sea, and they tell us it's going over the curvature of the Earth. Oh, look, 1,000-foot lake. It's doing the same thing. It's going over the curvature of the lake. When we know that the surface of this water is level, it's just like a huge pond, right? Just like a pond. Just crushing, just crushes curvature. Sky 3 crushes curvature. Yeah, that was Yeah, that was Travis. I think he might have did his own perspective video. I think I did play it on here. Hey there, Martin. Astral Soul, welcome. Absolutely crushing curvature. Okay. It's literally a scaled down version of what you observe when you're looking at sea. It's a scaled down version. Exactly the same effects you're seeing. You see exactly the same effect. There you go, beautiful. Is this below sea level? I'm not too sure, Dr. B. You might have to get onto Sky 3 and ask them. I'm not too sure the elevation of this place. I really don't know. Handle him like Magnus. Yeah, I used to be a bit of a chess player myself when I used to be younger. I used to like chess. My mum taught me how to play it. She was really good at it, my mum. I forgot, but my mum taught me a couple of openings. I forgot what they're called. Something defense, something. I remember, but it depends if you're using the black or the whites. Such a long time ago. I ain't played it for ages. The Queen's Gambit.
Thanks for watching. More to come soon.
Some Russian defense. I can't remember. Who was it? Was it Kasparov? Was he the old school Russian chess dude, Kasparov? Did he actually lose to the computer, supercomputer? Did he? I remember reading about it years ago. What was that, Kasparov? Was it Blue something Blue, the supercomputer that he lost to? Yo, Lev, how you doing, Lev? Deep Blue, that was it. Cheers on that. Yeah, Deep Blue. Yeah, who was the other guy? Who's the American guy that they thought was a Russian spy? The chess player. What was he? He was a genius, wasn't he? I forgot his name, man. I forgot his name. American dude. What was his name? So someone will know his name. Chess will know his name. He went crazy. The American dude, the chess player, he went crazy and turned into a hermit. And what was his name? What was his name? Bobby Fischer. That's it. Nice one. Slow remembered. But yeah, Bobby Fischer. And you had the other Russian dude as well, didn't you? You had Kasparov, the other Russian. You had Bobby Fischer. Someone else. Bruce Jenner, before he went to female, he used to compete in the male chess. He used to be a great male chess player. Then he flipped. Literally. Went from king to queen. Yeah, the British guy with the glasses. Yeah, who was that? Was he something short, was it? British guy with the glasses. Was it something short or something? Yeah, I used to be into chess. I like it. I like games like chess and like poker as well. I like poker. Because it kind of reminds me of chess, poker does. Nigel Short, that's it. That was it. Yeah, Nigel Short. We had over here, didn't we? Kasparov, Bobby Fischer. You had Karpov. Was it Karpov or something? Another dude, another Russian that was really good. Grandmaster. We're talking grandmasters here. They're all grandmasters. I even watch. I don't know if you guys watch it. I think it's in New York where they play chess outside, and you get all these undercover grandmasters, and they go into these games pretending that they're just normies against these these chess players that are like, you know, giving it the big and like talking and, you know, doing all that stuff. It's quite funny. You're getting these little kid grandmasters going in and just showing these old school chess players how to play. It's hilarious. It's really good. Spassky was another one. Yeah, Spassky. Yeah, Kasparov and Karpov were the big two, I remember. Yeah, Spassky was another one. I used to love chess until I discovered weed, women and beer. Yeah, pretty much the same here, man. Pretty much the same. My mum played backgammon as well. I didn't really like the game. Backgammon. Pretty cool. That was Tommy checking out the moon.
So we're just going to have a little listen to Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole chatting to Jaren here regarding the 24-hour sun. I want your opinion on what Earth says here, whether or not you think it's going to be a benefit to the flat Earth or a major hindrance should what Earth says comes true.
I want to play
let's
Vulcan
have a
Maya,
listen.
best of 3. The loser goes to Antarctica.
This isn't going to happen. You and us come back and say, we saw the sun. It's the actual sun. It had sunspots. The sky was blue. It circled around us for 5 days, and we can't poke a hole in it. I think the Earth is a globe. Okay. Right? If that happened, it's going to bring so much attention to flat Earth. Yeah, people are going to want to prove it other ways. They're going to be, okay, let's fly. Let's take a flight around Antarctica from Santiago to Australia. Let's do it's going to blow flat Earth wide open if that happened. And that's the element. Look at this. All it's going to do is bring more attention. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this?
So Earth thinks, should Jaren and Austin come back from Antarctica in December, claiming they saw a 24-hour sun, well, essentially a sun circling them continuously, and they come back claiming the Earth is a ball, Earth doesn't seem to think that's a problem. He thinks that will be a benefit to the flat Earth. I got a bit of an issue with that, chaps. No, I don't think that's a benefit in any shape or form. If anything, that I would categorise as a hit piece. And I don't recall any hit piece that's ever been done on the flat Earth of being beneficial to the demonstrable truth. None. Let me know what your thoughts are. Reference what Earth said, that he thinks it'll be a benefit to the flat Earth should Jaren and Austin come back claiming they're globe believers because of what they've seen in the sky. With the mainstream...
It destroys their model. That's what it actually does. And they've got to rethink their model. They have to, if they do observe that. I still don't think they're going to observe a sun circling them for 3 days. How can the sun be circling them for 3 days while it's rising in the UK? That doesn't mean it's a globe. It just means that their model's wrong. That's the way I see it. And I've said that from the start.
And their unlimited budget. And
they've got to rethink. Jaren has to rethink his model. Dave has to rethink the model.
Fragile minds of the mainstream believer that don't have the discernment.
Hey, FPV, welcome, dude.
Nonsense. Sorry, I disagree. 2 big-name flat earthers coming back from Antarctica claiming the Earth to be a ball based on them seeing something in the sky isn't going to be beneficial to the demonstrable truth in any shape or form. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The expedition party has spent all day in the searing heat, only to find they've walked in one big circle, back to Coconut Beach.
How the fuck did that happen? I don't even understand. We cannot walk anywhere on this island without getting lost.
Let's rock and roll, boys! Let's rock and roll! I think we made it! Woo! Let's go! Let's go! Oh, this is exciting. This is Yes!
Why is it you're so adamant you're right all
Just
the time?
hold on. Just, I'm not adamant I'm right.
Yes, you are,
Listen,
because you're dismissing.
Oh, that's hilarious. We should have a Mario Kart playoff. Loser has to has to kip in the tent with Dave McKeegan and fight the flat. No one's going to enter that because if they lose, that's the worst nightmare. Ches. This is having to share a tent with Fight the Flat Earth and McKeegan is just that's just the worst. Hey Seekin, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until it happens. It's coming. It's coming pretty quick, guys. Before you know it, it's going to be December, right? And as I said, I'm going to be going live all the way through it. Whenever they're live, I'm going to go live or any information or videos they're putting out, I'm going to play them straight away. So let's just be ready. It's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting.
Everybody else.
Listen, I am the second one, boys, and the third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Hey, you're welcome, Seeking. You're welcome. I believe in the multi-ring flat Earth model with a moon for each circle. Check out the Divergent channel.
Okay, well.
Yeah. I checked out Zox. Yeah, I used to play Divergent stuff on here. People started moaning though, so thought it was getting a little bit boring. But yeah, I've checked out the moon map. Who is it? Is it Alpha Vedic or something? It does the moon map and all that. Interesting stuff. I don't know if I vibe with it too much.
I don't want to leave this group. I don't want to.
Did you watch the rest of the Rust the Bear Nachi? No, I think 45 or an hour was enough. I think that was enough, FPV.
I can't fucking
Don't think I could do another hour of it, to be honest.
deal with this.
The women have circled back to Coconut Beach for a second time. Having pushed through the jungle for 2 days.
Vibes of Cosmos, that's it. Vibes of Cosmos, that's it. Yeah. I'm not too sure I vibe with it, but I do say, I've always said that there's more land. So he could be onto something. I don't know. Is the map of the Earth on the moon a reflection? I can't say that it is. You know what I mean? I can't. There's no evidence there for me. But I do believe there's more land. You know, I really do. I just feel it. I know it's just a feeling, but I think that's what the main thing about all this is to stop us from going out to these other lands. Keep us entrapped in a little area and say that's all there is. This is all there is. You can't go nowhere on a sphere. This is all the land, and you just go around in circles, or you're surrounded by an ice wall and you can't go nowhere with a dome over the top. There's no extra lands out there. No, we've discovered it all.
Brilliant. For the moment, absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, definitely feel like a tribe on a hunt.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Everyone's come out prepared.
You really need to know how I'm feeling.
I feel fine. Another day at the office.
Who was debating Snatchy? Who's debating Snatchy on the Rising Earth? Oh, what? Rust the Bear. Yeah, we did. We watched some of that. So I can't watch the. Yes, but watched half of it a few days. Yeah, just can't be asked to watch the other half.
It's really hard.
I feel really good, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah, it's enormous.
It's watching us. No.
Though potentially deadly to humans.
Oh, we've seen this one. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is the
Do you remember Vulcan Meyer?
Yeah, this is Leo's Volker. This dude Volker, no one's heard of. It's
From a few weeks
one
ago.
of the funniest things.
Well, Vulcan Meyer is a flat earther who no one had heard of. But strangely enough, he was being financed to represent the flat earth by going to Antarctica in December and doing this observation. But like I said, the very community who he was supposed to be representing didn't have a Scooby.
Begging for mercy. No more, please. Practical demonstrate a bottle in a pram. An aircraft flying straight in. Apology to Flat Earth by Nachi Keita. Oh gosh. Hilarious. I'm keeping that one. Right, how do I right click on this? I'll do it afterwards. I'll keep it up there. That's excellent. No more. Great. That's awesome, FEV. I'm going to keep that. I'll put that as a thumbnail.
Naturally, that got bashed the moment Will released the Volkermeyer video. And it would seem they've had to pull the plug on Volkermeyer and gone into damage control and come up with this tosh.
We have yet another flat earther who has declined.
He's not a flat earther, Will. No one knows him. How can he be a flat?
Generous offer to pay for them to travel
Declined
with the final experiment to Antarctica this December. This time it's Volkermeyer.
Who the fuck is Volkermeyer? Dear.
Oh, God. Who the hell is Volkermeyer? Everyone in the community wants to know. He's got this dude's from Facebook. He's got 200 subs. Will, you've dredged this dude up from Facebook. He's got 200 subs. Nobody knows him, and he's still declined you. This dude's declined. Oh God, you couldn't make this up. The dude with 200 subs has declined Will to go to Antarctica. The dude that nobody's heard of, nobody knows, has actually declined. But no, this is nonsense, Will. Oh, poor Will. Poor old Will.
Oh dear.
And what happened with him is nothing short of shocking. By the way, at the end of this video, I will give an update on Jaron and Austin.
Hey there, Rune. How you doing?
Also, Candace Owens. So, who is Volkermeyer? Well,
You tell me. Nobody knows who Volkermeyer is. Oh, he lives in Germany. Rheinfelden. He lives in Rheinfelden. Where's Rheinfelden, Schlo? Rheinfelden? Rheinfelden? I think it's Rheinfelden. Germany. He's got 300 followers. Nobody knows him. He's just some random dude that Will's picked off the German streets. Just, wait, Volker, come here. What's your name, Volker? Yeah, dude, come here. Right, I'm sending you to Antarctica. No. I decline.
Prominent flat earther.
A prominent.
This time
He's off the streets of Germany. No one knows him. Just some random dude.
it's Volkermeyer.
Who the fuck is Volkermeyer? Dear, oh dear.
And what happened with him is nothing short of shocking. By the way, at the end of this video, I will give an update on Jaron and Austin, and also
300 kilometers south. Damn.
So who is Volkermeyer? Well, Mr. Meyer is a prominent flat earther on Facebook.
Well, how can he be prominent if no one's heard of him? And he's only got 296 followers. I mean, dear, oh dear. Are you guys that desperate?
Just picking up random Germans off the streets. They're just going, right, you're going to Antarctica, right? You've heard of the flat earth, right? Yeah, yes, I've heard of the flat earth. Right, you're going to Antarctica with me. Oh, gosh. Absolutely hilarious.
Try and get some clout regarding your observation. Obviously you are.
He resides in Germany and has been proudly defending flat earth on Facebook for quite a while.
And yet no one's heard of him. No doubt there probably will be
you've
some
gotta
to back up this.
Ches, you gotta. Who the fuck is Volkermeyer? Like, you've got to make a song, Ches. You've got to make a song. And sample that and have that going like loops up in the background or something. Or use it for the chorus.
This silly story, which no doubt was set up in the first place with a final experiment.
Hey, Summer, welcome.
But unfortunately, it didn't go to plan, did it, Will? As it got blown out of the water by a demonstrable realist. Let me cut a long story short here. It turns out Volker now, having gone back and forth with these guys with reference to this observation and then paying for it, etc. Volker now has mysteriously disappeared, and his Facebook channel has mysteriously disappeared. I'm sure the millions of
I mean, you've got a good Volca Maya. Was it a two-syllable, two-rhyme pattern, right? Volca Maya. So you can make loads of rhymes off Volca Maya.
People out there will be crying out, no, we're going to miss Volca so much. Well, it turns out Volca now is no longer with us. He's left the internet. Dear, oh dear. What a desperate, silly charade.
Who the fuck is Volca Maya?
I said, what's next? I knew something was coming because Volca clearly didn't cut it. Now they've gone all Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory by giving out golden tickets. The reason they're doing
Willy
this?
Wonka.
Volca Maya Mark II, no doubt. Ridiculous, lads.
Will, if you're listening, you've got to do better, Will. I mean, if no one's ever heard of this dude, what are you doing, Will?
Because we have to make mistakes. Certain things need to be with my family. And
So this is for all the feminists out there that say that you can live without men, right? This is what happens after just like 10 hours of women being out in the woods on their own, having to survive. Feminists, not proper women. Feminists with this weird idea that they don't need men. And then just watch. But the men getting shit done, right? Lighting fires, having a whale of a
I
time.
don't want to sound too cocky too early.
No, I don't think we should.
I don't think we should at all. But right now,
we're winning.
You're winning? Let's see about that.
Order me about all the time.
And the squad, loving it.
I would please leave me. Just.
She goes on about those potatoes.
See, this is really a funny dynamic, right? You can see it happening. Women just talk and moan, right? Feminists, not all women, right? Feminists, they just moan and talk and chatter amongst themselves. While the men, they just go and get it done, right? They just do it.
Anymore, I'm just stuck there.
This is the male version.
I feel dreadful, honestly.
Hey, Lamont, how you doing?
I never thought I would be.
Good to see you.
so
Good to see you. Hey, what's up? What's up there, Matthew? Great to see you.
Yeah, and actually dehydration was your own fault rather than lack of water.
The expedition party are dehydrated, hopelessly lost, and wandering directionless.
Walking is painful now.
All night, no dry clothes and no fire. Because we have to make mistakes. Certain things.
A huge fucking snake came towards me. It came right
Look. This is the difference, right? They're seeing a snake and they're like, "Oh no, there's a snake! It come right for me. Let's get out of it." Men are like, "That's food. That's lunch. Let's get it and eat it."
We just caught a prehistoric animal.
I need to be with my family. And I just need to be at home.
I think what happened, I think there was a series when the guy that makes these didn't, and it was just all men surviving, and he got loads of complaints from feminists saying, "Oh, how comes there's not women in there?" So he went, "Okay, then I'll get a group of you women. You can survive on this side, and the group of men can survive on this side." It's hilarious. Fire's already going. They got fresh water. Food's coming.
All the decisions we've made thus far have been made.
And the ladies are collecting sand. They're collecting sand. The ladies are collecting sand while the men have got a fire going. They've got food coming. You know, fresh water's already there. It's it's going nice. It's flowing for the guys. The women are literally collecting sand in a bucket.
We've not needed to conform to a system where there's a leader.
Are you serious?
Call the medics! She's Fran! Fran's fainted!
We're winning.
I don't want to drink the water. It tastes of piss.
Decent water. The water was not an issue.
It's 2:30 now. No sign of a fire.
I know for a fact, if just a couple of the ladies in the chat, you know, Jax or Laura or someone, Amanda, someone, you know, with a bit of savvy was in this group, they'd have a fire going, there'd be fresh water there. It's just that these feminist women, they just haven't got a clue about real survival, you know. But
if I hadn't turned up today, and I turned up in 6 months, I bet these guys would be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, so women take on Bear Grylls over sexist male-only desert island show. This was written after season 1, when it was men only, and a lot of feminists came out and tried saying it's sexist because they didn't include women, and that they thought women would be able to do just as good, if not better, than the men. So in season 2, they made it men versus women, and let's just say it didn't exactly go to plan for the women. Just look at this. Look at the currents and how
I'd often leave them to it. You would. You just go, right, see you later. I'm going to go and survive on my own. You lot are useless.
How rough the water is here. This is where the men got dropped off.
You know, it is going to be out of your depth. There are rocks in there.
Look, they're still on the boat. They haven't even jumped in yet and got to land. And she's losing it already.
So nice to meet you.
I'm sorry.
Nice to meet you.
You see how the women are already getting special treatment? Look at the water they got dropped off in. Now let's compare that to the men's.
Woo! That was the damnedest thing I ever did.
Fuck's sake, this is survival, not Good Morning Britain. This is amazing. I found the sea.
Booyah!
Beach!
Pina coladas.
Oh, they got a fire going. They've got a fire going, though, eventually. And that's a big thing. Oh, that's the men. Oh, I thought it was the women.
What's your name? Ah, Becky, hello. Belinda. So emotional.
Well, that was seriously chaotic. You know, it's 4 o'clock. It's going to get dark here.
They're just chattering and nattering away.
And already, you know, they've been
nattering
15 minutes, chat on the beach. They need to work hard, get moving. But, you know, there's nothing I can do. These are things they're going to find out.
Guys, are we going right or straight? Guys, should we get together and have a chat? Because existed.
Should we get together and have a chat? You've chatted enough. You've just been chatting for 20 minutes on the beach. You need to get a move on, love. It's going to be dark soon. You've got no shelter, no fire, no food, no fresh water. You've got to get a move on. There's no time for chattering and nattering.
Didn't know a jungle existed.
Light running out fast, the women are no closer to finding a beach to set up camp. The women have decided to abandon their search for a beach and set up camp in the jungle.
Look, my fucking hands. I'm a hairdresser. And, like, I can't afford this. I'm trying to keep these tears in all along.
Stop it, Jade. Just try and stop. Just try and stop, because it'll make you feel worse.
Yeah, so this is basically episode 1, and it kind of shows the differences between men and women. The men immediately decided, right, they need to work as a team, get to the beach, get out of the jungle. That's what they did. They did it on episode 1. The women kind of didn't understand the seriousness of what they was in. They wasted time talking. Then when it was time to find a beach, they didn't work as a team. They didn't know where they was going. basically a complete mess. And then they decided to split up, which is a terrible idea in any
worst thing
survival
you could
situation,
possibly do.
But that's what they decided to do. Half of the women stayed in the jungle, while the other half went to find a beach, which I think they eventually did. But the problem that they then had was getting back into the jungle to tell the other team, oh, we found the beach. You see how it makes no sense? And they couldn't even do that. They went back to find them multiple times and couldn't find their way back. So, but yeah, if you like this episode, like and subscribe. I've got episode 2 coming soon.
So feminist ladies out there, you've got to admit, you need us men.
So peace.
You need us as much as we need you. Right, let's check out Honor's link and we'll check out the other link as well they put in there. Agenda free, first ever private spacewalk live. What's this? Oh, what's this? I can't. Oh, look.
I remember when I lost my
mind. Oh my God.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Oh shit, that's hilarious. No, I can't play that other link for some reason. You've got ads on there. I've got an ad blocker on it.
Oh my God. Look at the state of this war. Look at this.
I know, I've got ad blocker on as well, Jax.
Look at that.
I've got an ad blocker on. I think they've got around it somehow. Ads killer, that's the one I got. It's got 65 adverts. Doesn't seem to be doing like a proper job though. Some adverts are slipping through.
It's the whole it's the whole shebang. Oh my God. Oh no.
Now this is Emerald Rider. We ain't seen Emerald for a while. I hope you're doing well, Emerald. Oh, it's a few people said oh, Melody's in there. Logical. Yeah, Em's cool, man. I ain't seen him for a while. He hasn't been in. I hope you're okay, Em. Yeah, it stops working, David. I ended up downloading Brave. People keep mentioning Brave. Get onto Brave. Get onto Brave. Hey there, Powers. Welcome. Was he a little bit more coherent this time, Happy? You could understand what Chills was saying. This is what Emerald sent me one of these. He sent me, see this pouch here? Quite similar to this pouch, and it had some, I don't know what stones, crystal stones they are. They had like 2 or 3 stones in there as well. Yeah. Very similar to that. Appreciate that, Em.
average mean between the crafts. And so, what is it?
Right, this is Math Boylan talking to Will Duffy on the experiment. So let's check it out. I ain't heard Math talk for ages. See what he's got to say. Hold on, what's this? Watch live now. What's this? Is this got an advert on it? First ever private space walk. Private. Oh my! Oh my God! He's wearing it. What's he wearing? Looks like he's wearing a goddamn tracksuit or something. Come on, this. What is this? Look at this spacesuit. He's meant to be out in space. You can almost see through this thing. It's almost like transparent netting or something he's got on. What? Really? What happened to pressurized suits and, you know? Oh my Lord! They've just gone completely against everything.
This is the first ever private spacewalk.
It's done in a. It's just one of those front screen projections, right, on a screen with a car or whatever this is, a Tesla car, with the camera back here, shooting it, and he's just moving about in this. It's so simple the way they've done this. And you see the way they've done it. Projection on a screen, an actual like physical structure, but the camera's back here. It's filming. It's so prop, right? So this is a prop, an actual physical prop with him sitting in it, a projection on the screen and the camera back here. And yeah, this is spacewalking, first ever private spacewalk. Really? Look at these spacesuits, are ridiculous. I've never seen nothing like it. He's wearing like a bloody motorbike helmet.
I'd say vertical and horizontal are equally workable, slightly favored.
Oh, come on.
He is testing the...
Look at this. It's not even all... Oh, God. It's not even like a one-piece suit, is it? Like, you know, look, you can see that this is just like a jacket put on. Remember, they're out in space, right? Come on, this is complete nonsense. How are these morons in this falling for it? He's being careful. Look, they're all bought it. They all actually think that he's out in space. They're going 25,000 kilometers an hour. Wow. Are they?
The spacesuit.
Or are they just in like a warehouse with a projection and a prop and he's just standing there? That's probably more like it, because then this number here says 25315, right? Oh my God, what a bunch of retards. Look, walk the walk. He ain't walking nowhere. He's in one of those NASA warehouses, you moron. Oh my Lord. You couldn't make this shit up. Well, they do, they make it up. NASA makes it up all the time, SpaceX. You can clearly see how they've done this. So, all the time that this is being played, 25
mobility tests.
They're going 25,000 kilometers an hour, and the gap there between this point and this point here hasn't changed one bit. Let's just take it back. Let's see if it does actually. No.
Pitch is a 4.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Roll is a 2. Yaw is a 2.
But that'd still be easy to do. You just have this prop on like a motor that's slowly going across like that. Well, this projection is rolling, right? Gives you that effect.
So these are the suit mobility checks that Jared is performing.
Operations, dynamic and with disturbance.
It's terrible. It is so bad. It is so bad.
Stepping into test matrix 3. TB one's good. Oh, good. Fucking good. Copy that. Okay.
This is a spacesuit, guys. Oh my! I just can't believe what I'm watching.
Max reach, whether it's left or right hand, seems to be about the same. Top of the mobility aid, and then the mid-run.
That's the biggest bunch of nonsense I've ever seen in my life. 25,000 kilometers an hour. This guy is just flapping about in his bloody space tracksuit and the motorbike helmet in a little prop, doing all these. But they're going 25. Come on, man! Why are you falling for this? These people in the well spent money, really, Amy, really? Yeah, look, the Scottish dude's the only one that's got it right. What a mess! It's a complete mess. All right, that's done with that.
Pretty good. Tell me about your project.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. We're just flying flat Earth or in a globe Earth to Antarctica to see whether or not there's a 24-hour sun.
Hasn't that been done?
Not that I know of.
Well, just that in itself is kind of weird, don't you think?
So Powers says 16 times faster than the muzzle velocity of a 9mm. That's how fast they're going up there. And that guy's just frapping about in that little thing, wearing that stupid little suit. Come on, man. Oh, gosh. It's... As I say, it's not for us because we see through the nonsense, right? So
just flying flat Earth.
Right, let's listen to what
to Antarctica to see whether or not there's a 24-hour sun.
Hasn't that been done?
Not that I know of.
Well, just that in itself is kind of weird, don't you think?
No. Based on the response to this, no one has mentioned that this has been done before. Meaning, a flat earther and a globe earther going to Antarctica together.
Oh, okay. And so, what does it prove?
Well, if there's a 24-hour sun, we live on a globe. If there's not, we live on a flat earth.
I just find it strange because, like in 2000, I think it was in 2016, I was like making fun of the fact that there was like no time lapse of the midnight sun in the South Pole, and I was kind of like really raking it over the coals over and over again, laughing, and then finally one was produced on camera, and it went through forensic.
Love you too, Fiona.
And Adobe.
Thank you.
Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Premiere, and it was After Effects. It was like a solar spot with just like After Effects, and so that was it. And I found that was strange, and then it kind of went away. And then now, just recently, they said that the temperature in Antarctica is 50 degrees warmer than normal. Now I'm going to repeat that. That's 50. Now, I don't know if that's Celsius, which is a lot, or even Fahrenheit.
I think Chills must have made a mistake.
That is an incredible increase in warmth during the Antarctic's summer. And so I saw your project, and I thought, wow, I wonder if the two people who just built suns...
I think that was probably done by accident, Powers. I don't think Chill's meant to time you out. He's probably looking at the he's probably done that by accident. He's got no reason to time you out there. It's probably something. That's all good.
Are going to be testing out their artificial suns over Antarctica because Germany and China both have a slice of Antarctica. So I'm like, you know, you're going to get caught in that mire. And when I found out about all this as an artist and photorealist, I always kind of questioned it. But then somebody really put it to me and told me it was flat. And I was like, and as a photorealist painter, my first response was, well, how do you explain all the pictures? And he right away just put me in my place. He said, Matt, those are like, you're a photorealist. Those, you think those are photos? And then immediately in my mind,
yeah, I can't undo it though, Chills. Isn't that weird? Why can't I undo it? It says channel activity report. User, user remove. Yeah, I can't actually take that away. For some reason, I should be able to have the power to go right undo that, but for some reason it doesn't. The powers, yeah, that was done by accident. That was it's beyond me. Oh, powers is still in there. School.
I just went through every Earth every time I've ever seen it, because I've only seen it on a flat piece of paper or the little toy globe, which is even more unrealistic. And I was like, holy poop. I was like, wow, what if we're in a style of a civilization and they've confined us spiritually and mentally?
No, I can't reverse it. I can't reverse it, Chills. It doesn't give me the option. So I don't know what to do there, really. So Powers knows it wasn't done on purpose. It was by accident anyway, so it's all good.
Through a limited sense of space and geography. You know, like the cool kids are going to make all the nerds subservient to them, you know? And there's no doubt that every society is hierarchical. I mean, you can have matriarchal and fool yourself, and it's a hierarchy in there. It's the women. It's always going to be a hierarchy. And so are we just latecomers in this world, born through our parents, arrived here, but it's already a game that's been taken over by a group of people that are like doing everything to turn us into, you know, obedient livestock? And how would you do that to a human being as opposed to, you know, just building a fence around a cow? And so when, I mean, this is what it triggered in me as a political scientist and a
Vulcarized.
when he said that. And I was like, this guy's crazy. And it's like,
Powers got vulcarized by Chills. He got Vulcamired.
Like everybody you've talked to. And then you spend 3-4 years. And then I came across a book, which was like the last book at a Barnes & Noble, or Chapters, I think it was. I'm not too sure it was the competitor, but I think they went bankrupt. It was on Antarctica. It was a photographer in Antarctica. And it was one of my first videos I put up called Pyramids in Antarctica. And this was 2011. And I'm flipping through it, and he was just showing all the odd things about Antarctica, like French Navy showing up and just sinking Australian trawlers called the Southern Raider.
Believe it or not, this was the guy that actually woke me up back in, it was 2010. Brought out his stand-up. It was this guy. Not Eric DeBay or Sargent. This was the guy that brought it onto the internet first. And yeah, I remember I told you I was researching Hollow Earth, and Math's video come up. He basically said in it, you don't know the shape. You've only been shown it all your life. You ain't seen it from that perspective. And that was it. That's what started it all. It was Math saying that one thing. So I thought about it. I thought, yeah, he's right. I don't fucking know. I actually have been shown it all my life on TV and videos and films, and I don't actually know though.
Right? Just for no reason. And also the peculiarity of a picture he took in our northern summer, which is their winter, and the sun is setting. So there's like no midnight there, like the Arctic is not like the Antarctic. And you know, I saw that, you know, right there. That was another entry. And I mean, in the beginning it was a show where I was going to be like, okay, I'm going to push this and see who's going to stop me with this routine. And instead of people just accepting my challenge of my proof, the way the world reacted was the way the world would react if it was indeed hiding it was flat. And it's very simple. And the goal of the whole challenge to find out if it really is indeed a globe, because the globes are all
photo
like,
painting, that's
sense.
it.
The one from Apollo.
Yeah, Chills, he did do
it's
that.
Got all of Africa in it, which implies the other half of the sphere has to contain enough on its sphere span, which is half of the sphere, for the length of Russia, the length of Canada, the Atlantic, and the Pacific. So it's game, set, and match on the Apollo picture, because when you look at a sphere, you see half of the orange. When you don't start to see the whole orange is the part that in the arch that starts to descend away from your view in front of a perfect sphere, or spheroid, like at the circumference that they claim. So that's not enough room for the rest of the world on the night side of that photo. And so then the rest are all like, and then there's NASA admitting it. And then there's NASA, the only agency in the US government that can never have a whistleblower by law. There's no whistleblower protection for anybody who works at NASA if they want to speak their mind about something they saw there. So you'll never see anything.
It was that stand-up thing, yeah. And what year did you watch that, Chills? Can you remember what year you watched that?
And we're talking.
It might have been a bit later. It might have been a bit later for you, but you might have watched that earlier without even realizing.
You know, I don't get caught up in the mire of the space station, although they probably are filming stuff in a pool. But I'm sure they're also up there, and I'm sure they're also doing stuff, and I'm sure they're also traveling quite great distances, and I'm sure they're creating a platform, you know, a Skynet and stuff like that, and controlling the sky above, and doing all sorts of things with the weather. And you know, John Glenn came out like just a couple months ago. He said, a lot of people don't know this, but NASA's a climate agency. He just outright said it. Okay. Not like a...
I wonder what Matt thinks about the upward rising Earth. I would like to know what he thinks about it. He must have heard about it.
Space agency. He's talking about the space above your head. That's the weather. And so, if you if you make a sun simulator, I mean, the liability of putting up a bunch of, like a magnifying glass up in the air, and let's say it's not a globe, and it's a lot closer to that source of heat, and you put something up there like China is putting up there or put up there, and you need to test it out, and you're going to put it over Berlin or Beijing. I mean, that's very risky. But they both have slices in Antarctica, and it just got 50 degrees warmer. So are they testing it out there? So you're going to run into that. And the ultimate goal of this whole thing was the scientific method is not applied with space. Not everybody can do the measurement of seeing it's a globe. Like, we can't all go up, and they keep faking they're going to bring us up with space travel. It never happens. It goes in 10 to 15 year cycles,
yeah,
leading up to.
That's true. It's true. If you've lived it and seen it, it's like 15-year cycles of like build up. Where we're going, and then another 15-year build up. We're going. That game,
well,
they play.
And
that long game.
Or a COVID shows up before everybody at Blue Origin and SpaceX is having their joyride. You know what I mean? Then COVID shuts everything down at NASA. So there's always these like little things that are going on now because the pressure's on whether or not it's a globe. And I'm like you, I want to finish this. And there was two. The first one was, it's 6 scientific teams or 6 scientists that don't know each other, that are not colluded, that are not connected, that are actually competing. And they're given the same hypothesis and the same criteria and the same measurement tools and the same material to measure and study. And if all 6 of them come to the same conclusion, then you have your fact. And then everybody else can replicate the experiment. You can't.
Math, did I just hear a coded 666 in there? Math wouldn't do that, would he?
Competing. And they're given the same hypothesis and the same criteria and the same measurement tools and the same material to measure teams or 6 scientists. And there was 2. The first one was, it's 6 scientific teams or 6 scientists that don't know each other, that are not colluded, that are not connected, that are actually competing. And they're given the same hypothesis and the same criteria and the same measurement tools and the same material to measure and study. And if all 6 of them come to the same conclusion, then you have your fact. And then everybody else can replicate the experiment. You can't.
Ches, what was that beta AI program you talked about a couple of weeks ago? Can you remember what the name was? Can you put it in the chat? I'm going to write it down this time.
Do that with the globe up in space, but we can do it with Antarctica, and that would be 6 different entry points of 6 competing teams, all crossing that central pole, like in the North Pole, the true pole, or the magnetic pole, and they put their flag and then they go out. And they all come out wherever they're supposed to on a globe. And everybody went crazy. Everybody started doing keyboard proofs and ridiculous laser experiments where they're not calculating the aperture of the laser's beam getting wider over distance. They're not calculating the crest of the wave on the lake or the ocean that day. 2 inches will obscure a skyline 80 miles away. Lift up your tripod. Do the average mean between the crest. I mean, there's many ground measurements that have already debunked the curvature circumference of 26,000. And now, going and looking at a sun after sun simulators by 2 Antarctic Treaty members are being tested right now over our heads. You know, I think it's time to do something that you know is going to work. Of course, the Antarctic Treaty Project will not allow my challenge. I have to go through the Extreme World Race Committee. I've already approached them, and there's all sorts of fees and rules, like they are guiding you. So I had one that was very...
I'll be back in a sec, guys. I've got something to do.
Very, and you can go do the sun thing, but you're going to run into all this stuff, huh? And then this was the one that I know will shut the flat Earth down. Are you ready to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. So on a globe, you have the 60th latitude and the 60th northern latitude. Okay? Now we got about, I guess, 10 latitudes or 10 time zones before we get into like hostile countries. You could have 2 teams on your mark, get set, go, with the witnesses, and you could have your glober on the boat, because it's really boring on the 60th southern. You're just going to be on water. And you can have, your glober and flat earthers doing boat, portage, and land, and literally going through people's houses. You know what I mean? And every day or every night, both teams check in, they clock where they're at, and they take a rest, and they start up, and they have to be moving at the same speed. So it's a race where they're racing to maintain equal speed at equal distance. And you'll have all the witnesses in the northern 60th, like in Nunavut, and like, I don't know if it goes through Iceland and all that, Sweden, it could be quite funny. And you'll be meeting flat earthers. It'll be kind of like the marathon or the Olympic torch. People will be on the side of the road. They'll see the team running or driving, and there it is, like the Google car or the Olympic torch, but, fanfare. On the southern side, you could have a certain amount of flotillas and also planes. You would have a Cessna that would fly over the northern to make sure that they're not lying when they are there. They're indeed there. And if it's not a ball, that plane's going to be always looking for them on the south. And if it's not a ball and they're still arching like it's a sphere on that latitude, they're, instead of making their rendezvous from, New Zealand to South Africa, they're going to start curving right up into Morocco. You follow what I'm saying?
Kind of.
Okay, the Earth is flat, but we're going to prove it's a globe, okay? Or the Earth is a globe, and we're going to prove it's flat. Both teams are on, you got a 60th southern latitude and a 60th northern latitude. And you set both teams up at the exact same longitude that intersects that latitude intersection, 60. Say it's somewhere in New Zealand in the south, and somewhere, a little south of the Bering Straits of Alaska or between Russia, okay? Or something, or in Siberia, okay? And now you're going to start moving at the same rate through communication. We got the telecommunications devices to do this. We got phones, and we got 2 planes. Now, I put this out, and everyone in the flat Earth that's like, everybody suspects are plants. They're to like do controlled failed experiments that are like throwing up the exhibition by saying this nonsense of an ice wall. You know that I don't believe there's an ice wall.
I didn't know that.
No. When I saw ice wall pop up, I was like, oh, this is another psychological containment. And also a very cheeky, funny excuse where, you know, when people are going to get all tough about the flat Earth, they'll just go, and people say, well, why don't you go do it yourself? Well, it's like, yeah, there's an ice wall. And so it's this insurmountable wall. So it's this psychological defeatist spell that they put on all these, and all you do is you, well, what about the ice wall? And I just like, it's almost as bad as like the cartoon planet that they just found beyond Mars that's like Earth. You know what I mean? It's just another, it's in a fixed, finite computer screen frame or a picture from a camera. You can't ever get the 360. The panic that's going on right now with the seizure of Russian maverick billionaires that are building expedition boats in the Netherlands, where they seized all their boats in 2022 during COVID under the pretext of the sanctions against Russia for Ukraine. I mean, there is so much going on at a detailed political level that what you're seeing on YouTube is a sitcom, and it has nothing to do with really shutting it down. Now, if you do both teams leaving on the 60th, just before the 60th, what's going to happen is you're going to have military show up because you're not allowed to go past the 60th Southern, and I don't know if you can the 60th Northern. Like, they might not want you to think that you can't, but they might be showing up with their Corvettes. There will be Russian and American and Canadian hanging around, and that's great because that's also part of the scientific method. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. So that's going to be like free witnesses, and people on the boats are going to film them, and people on the road are going to see, you know, the people on the side of the road. And I think you'll be able to get maybe through about 10 time zones, and it's over. You don't need to do the whole rotation. You'll know if it's a globe. If the southern team is always meeting the same longitude as the northern team, it's a globe. You'll know within 3 longitudes, 4 longitudes, okay? With the entire triangulation system that I made. And you have enough witnesses and people and instruments to document, it's over. It's a globe or it's flat. And we didn't have to cross Antarctica. And it's over. It's literally over. Well, it's over for you. It's over for me. We find out. I want to find out if I'm wrong. But I don't want to go look at like a big, huge flash in the sky, you know, in an area where, you know, like where the 2 people that just built fake suns are like testing their sun because of the liability of cooking people. I mean, it's 50 degrees warmer. Where do you think those artificial suns are now? And on top of it, why would they make an artificial sun? Oh, well, let's melt the Antarctic and start mining it. I mean, there is a lot going on with just the flat Earth pointing a stick at Antarctica that could be the reason why everybody's freaking out, even if it is a globe. This was originally a peace project and an audit on the freedom of expression and an audit on NASA and space and the heliocentric model. And it turned into a circus, an absolute circus, a mudslinging circus with people making a living off my work. And now walking around plagiarizing directly, and Google and Netflix just being told they cannot use my footage whatsoever, and then going, doesn't matter, let's take it anyways, and then making hundreds of millions of dollars. And then the gaslight that I'm not like targeted. It's absolutely a circus. And it's so simple, and it's such an amazing documentary that teaches people about how to come to a conclusion using science. Nobody wants to talk to me. And it's lasers and, you know, let's go film the sun. It's like, What about an adventure? What about really shutting this down? What about making a really good story and movie and a conclusion and a proofing, and it's a peace project going through country? Why not do something amazing with this instead of this nonsense that all these I would say children running around with my gentleman's jacket while a bunch of gentlemen were talking about a real expedition. You know, the whole thing got drowned out by noise, and it's a typical propaganda, political science, counterintelligence strategy. Create so much noise, you drown out the signal. You know, I don't think they're going to do the 6 teams going across Antarctica, and they could use their own environmental clause, and we can't do that, and da-da-da-da, and we're just small little crazies, right? Or we just do the 59.9 southern latitude and the 59.9 northern latitude. On your mark, get set, maintain the same speed. That's... Well, look, what I'm talking about, the margin of error would be to reach their longitude on the southern side would be at 2 weeks. Like, okay, we're here, and it's like, oh, they're not there, they're always 2-3 weeks late. That's what I'm talking about. So it's like, maintain as much as possible, but if the southern team's always like 2-3 weeks off, or they're arching too soon and they're hitting Portugal, then it's flat. Then it's a problem. And I tell you, if you do this, and it is indeed flat, we're going to find out pretty quick how they're going to try to shut it down. And I tell you right now, from the way they shut this down, and the way no one talks about it, and the Jaron and Mark Sargent and Eric Dubé and David Weiss community, this is just a bunch of guys behind a thick pane of glass pretending all this is theirs, and I'm trying to tell the audience that's my jacket. These guys are wearing my jacket. We'll find out again. You'll get shut down, and no one will bring this up again, and there'll be another laser, or we'll go film like the German sun, or there is another sun, like Dan and I have been saying. There's a lot of footage of another luminary up there. You know, that eclipse was all crazy, the one that they just had. I mean, it came from, what was it? It came from the west. You know, like there's footage of the moon in the sky, the last eclipse. You know the last eclipse, right? Yeah, there's all sorts of footage of the moon in the sky, and then there's this thing in front of the sun. A lot. It's just a lot. You need to go searching. I don't know if they're tone deaf in the flat Earth, or I know in the globe community they've been ecosystemed or echo chambered. They're in their electronic social media ecosystem where they can't ever get any information. No, I never got your text or your link. It says unavailable. And it just stays. It's like they're controlling minds through what's being sent as information through the social media. That's the whole point. Okay, it's containment. That's it. And it's also, if you're a pastor, once you say that God was wrong about the shape of his creation, I mean, you just killed God. And once you take out the first page of Genesis, fixed and immovable, then it's like, whether it's a globe or flat, they've got it spinning and everything's spinning. Oh, everything's spinning around. You got Big Dippers there in June, and they're still there 6 months later. So the whole friggin' galaxy's spinning. It's like fast. You thought the Earth was spinning fast. Well, you don't feel it spin at all. Imagine the thing that's up there, how fast that thing. The whole thing is spinning around us. But yet we're not geocentric. Oh, okay. And so, I guess my point being here is either this is a group of people that want to do the scientific method, or it's always one or two, and we got to believe them, and it's hierarchical. Scientific method is not hierarchical. Anybody can repeat the experiment. And this is something where it's like there's so many people involved, like people coming out on boats, cheering people on, globers, flat earthers, like, you prove it's a globe, da, 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 da. You know, like, we got to fight global warming, you know? That I think it's got to be something big. It's got to be the scientific method, and then you're kind of asking me and everyone in the world to just believe your camera on that thing with China and Russia and Germany putting up, artificial suns now, and it's 50 degrees warmer, and we're just supposed to go, oh, that's global warming, and there's the sun. But there's never been one before. But these two guys went out there and got it. It's kind of like they'll never take away Nixon calling the moon.
AOP, meth power land.
It's going to be the subject of my next painting. It's called Astronuts, and he's on his push-button phone in the Oval Office, talking to them out in space. It's never going to go away, and it's a very funny painting I'm working on, Norman Rockwell style, all like very Norman Rockwell would have painted it, and 60s regalia and all that. And he's got different phones on his desk.
Holy smokes, I didn't realise it was half 12.
To reach them at that distance, and there's a reception.
We might have to watch the rest of math later. I mean Saturday, because there's still quite a lot to get through on that list. We got 30 minutes. Come back to was kind of in order. Let's check out what Lucky Haskins has got to say about Rising Earth. That's 20 minutes. That takes us up perfectly.
Good morning, YouTube, or early afternoon to the rest of y'all, or late afternoon to you total normies. Good morning, though, to Lucky Haskins. It's another perfect day in God's country, and I ain't lying. Listen, I'm going to make a short video today and just try to drop a few comments.
Hey, Tommy, welcome. How you doing, Tommy?
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking even a moment to click on my ugly mug and give me a voice in this shit show, clown show, world of inverted deception that we live in today.
The more I listen to Lucky, the more I like it.
And I mean,
he's quite a likable chap.
That with all sincerity, I love each and every one of you that gives me a voice and takes a moment to listen to me. To my technical director, Mr. Allen, I thought you would think this was cool. Yesterday, I picked up a BMW F650. I know you dig your BMWs, man. I don't know if you know what an F650 is. Might be called an FJ650, otherwise affectionately known by BMW riders as a Funduro. It's a
hey there, Tony. How you doing? Welcome, Tony D.
650 twin cylinder, water cooled, liquid cooled,
anti-arc, right?
Very
anti-arc, anti-arc.
Very cool bike, man. And I've been riding motorcycles since I was 7 years old, like on a daily basis. Like I lived for motorcycles as a young man, and had a Harley for 10 years, gave up that.
Hey, good day, Marlene. Hope you're good.
Lifestyle and stuff to be a dad, right? And I don't like riding in heavy traffic and streets anymore. I absolutely love riding, but I just want to limit the risk because I like coming home to my son every day. So I like riding in the dirt and on the trails and all that, but picked up this BMW, man, which is a super capable bike. As you know, Alan, I often used to say to Harley guys, real bikers are riding BMWs, man. And why do I call those guys real bikers? Because their bikes often have 140,000 miles on them and stuff like that. And then you find a guy that's got a beautiful Harley Heritage Classic, 1996, and it's in his garage, and it's got 9,000 miles on it because it's only been back and forth to the bar. I'm only serious, y'all. Listen, I got to make this video quick.
It's fantastic at the moment, Marlene. Thank you.
This is specifically because I did not want to throw my hat in this ring because of all the drama surrounding it, and because I ain't looking for a replacement, and my channel has often been about, let's not waste a bunch of time looking for a replacement. Also, I've told you guys many, many times over the last 2 years, You know, my deep research into a lot of these topics is way behind me, and I'm just over it. I don't have the time, don't have the interest, and
Hey there, Dean.
I would certainly put the rising Earth in that category. It's simply another speculative replacement for the globe, in my opinion. And I'm going to get to that, why I use the word speculative, which it clearly is. Now, the reason, 100%, the reason I am making this, again, another rising Earth video, is because two friends of mine, Angela, Baby Carson, and Sean, okay? These are friends of mine, have been friends of mine for a long time, right? I respect people. These are people that I respect. Angela specifically sent me a link and specifically asked me to look at these videos and specifically...
I think Angela's going to fall upward. I'm sure she's an upward rising earther. Yeah, she is. She is. Angela Baby Carson, yeah.
And so... again, these are good friends of mine. So that is why this, what some of you are going to call horseshit, is about to roll out of my mouth, because I was asked by some very good friends. I told you guys 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago when I made that video about the flat earth psyop. That was a friend of mine that asked me. He literally said, "Lucky, we need you, man." Now, Angela left me a comment and it says, "I need you to look at this stuff." And Sean had said, "Hey, Lucky's going to get it. We know Lucky's going to get it, man," right? Because
I remember when I lost my mind.
I'm all about demonstrable, repeatable, testable, scalable, provable science, because that's all we really have. That's what we really have. Smart guys making up great theories, which became people's belief system, has nothing to do with a method of discovery, in my opinion. And of course, I understand all the horseshit backstories they'll lay behind it. Well, this is the best we have to discover. We make our theories, then we test them. No, you're reverse engineered theories that have you grasping at a globular Earth in a heliocentric system that is completely and totally debunked and has no relevance in our society whatsoever, meaning application, right? You can't do anything using a theory that disagrees with experiment. Simple stuff. All right, I'm dragging this out way too far. I just want to point out, I was asked to do this sincerely by people that are sincere friends of mine. It doesn't matter to me what they choose to think or believe in, okay? And if people want to disagree with me, that's fine. I'm only here talking about this to present common sense and simplistic information. If people have conflicting information they want to rebut, hopefully kindly and nicely and politely, that'll be cool. I gotta say, okay, I got like 5 videos linked to me from Angela. I went and watched them all. Very well done videos by this guy out of California. You know, he took his time, did a good job.
Yes, Ches, Pastor Will actually did invite Del, and Del declined. It was when Del interviewed Will. You'll have to go back and check the stream, check Del's videos. But I think it's, how long ago was it? It must have been a month ago or something, right? A few weeks ago, 3 weeks or something, a month. So yeah, he did invite him. He did.
Very cool. Hat tip to anybody that's out there doing experiments, boots on the ground, trying to figure this out.
I would pay a monthly subscription for that, Ches, to see Del in a tent with McToon. Just even in the same room together, McToon, Del. Imagine that. Fight the flat Earth. Who's that other absolute retard? McKeegan. Yeah, that would just be fucking hilarious.
Hat tip to whatever that guy's name is.
I'd definitely pay. I'd pay a lot of money to see that.
So, but here's the thing. First of all, let me say that I have to. I haven't been near any of these type of videos yet until my friends are asking me. I have to agree with Rasta Bear. It's very toxic at those videos in the comment sections. I'm not sure why. It's baffling to me is what the hell is going on. We have all these, most of them newer and younger flat earth.
It's putting off a lot of people actually. When you go into a chat and you start getting attacked, and puts a lot of people off.
Earthers just absolutely ripping on flat earthers, calling them names. They're dumb now. The old wily veterans that brought you guys to the truth, the people who brought you guys this entire, who helped you young bucks lift your veils, are now dumb and ignorant and this and that. So I have to just real quick. Rasta Bear wasn't bullshitting when he said the toxicity in this movement is through the charts. I immediately seen it in the comments. Anybody that leaves a comment that is contradictory to the experiment results is getting called names, dumb, ignorant, stay in your ignorance. I mean, it's like really toxic. So right off the bat, chalk one up for Rasta Bear because he was right. I'm telling you that this is new to me. I hope you guys realize this. I've seen some of that in the chats, but to go to these videos, man, it's like there's a line in the sand. If you don't think the earth is rising, you're an absolute moron, idiot. Enjoy your psychosis, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fair enough, right? That's how that wants to go. Just pointing out Rasta Bear's right on the money as far as what I can see. Now, let's get right down to it. I'm not here to rip on anybody, but that tells me I've been doing this shit a long, long time, way before the internet. So that tells me up front that there's some sort of psychological thing going on here. Not calling anybody crazy, not saying anybody's being misled psychologically, not calling anyone a shill, not calling anybody a psyop, but the level of toxicity that seems to be surrounding this just is an instant red flag to me that there's something psychological going on here. Okay? Just Lucky's opinion. What do I know? By the way, y'all, I stay very far away from the internet nowadays as much as I can. I did do a little bit of binge watching recently of that cat, Nathan.
Del, it's not you. You're not the one doing it. It's your minions, Del. When people go into the chat, they're just getting attacked. And it does put people off, mate. It really does.
Reynolds, if you're not familiar with that, very interesting stuff. Of course, just is more confirming than anything else to those of us who have been looking into this kind of stuff for a long time. Listen, I don't want to be I am not getting involved. If y'all want to come over here and say that I'm being out of line and psychological, I'm just telling you that was my first red flag. I'm reading the comments after watching these videos. I'm like, I watch one, then I go read the comments. And I have to say, Rasta Bear is right. These people, for some reason, have a zero tolerance for anybody that's not on board with the rising earth. Okay, so that's a red flag to Lucky, but that's just me. Maybe it's because they're right. Because flat earthers are like that with globers sometimes, right? I know I am. Anti-flat earthers more than globers. I understand why the normie and the confused masses still believe in the globe. But anybody that does any research on it and then tries to attack me, of course, maybe I treat them that way too. I don't know. But at any rate, that's a red flag to me, is what's going on. It just tells me that there's some sort of psychological thing. I don't know what it is, man. I'm not going to even go there. Like I said, I don't want in this pool, but a bunch of my friends are in it. And if my friends reach out to me and ask me for something, well, I have a tendency to do it sometimes, don't I? Well, here we go. Now, so I watched every single one of those experiments. There's two main points that I want to address here without going through it all. There's two fundamental main points that I want to address. Displacement is being demonstrated through objects that are at rest in a horizontal manner, right?
Hey, John Watson, long time. Hope you're good, dude.
A water bottle with an air bubble in it. First of all, let's just break that down a little. When that water bottle is sitting on the dolly and the air bubble's in the top, why is the air bubble in the top? Well, because that water bottle's already loaded, as Lucky would put it. It's under force because you lifted it off the ground and you're using the platform to support it, right? So it's being supported by a platform, but it wants to go down. Therefore, the air bubble's up in the top, right? We all know this, density and buoyancy. Now, so that item is at rest horizontally. It has no force being applied to it horizontally. If you let go of that bottle, it's not going to shoot off to the left or shoot off to the right. However, if you remove the platform from underneath it, it would certainly shoot off to go down. Due to its density, it would immediately go down. Okay, so these tests, these horizontal tests, are being done with an object that is truly at rest. It is not loaded by any force, right? Sitting there.
Yeah, I understand that. I do understand that.
If he lets go of the bottle, it's not going to rocket.
Dale doesn't.
Rocket to the right.
Dale doesn't control these people, right? He's not saying, right, go out there and attack people in chats. Right? That's not. That's what I said there. It ain't you. It isn't you.
Rest. However,
you're not doing it.
You take an object and you.
Other people are. I'll just say that. Other people are doing it.
Use force to lift that object up. Again, I like to simplify things and call it loading. There was a force required to lift that object up and hold it there. Therefore, when you drop that object, it is not going, we should not expect it to react. We should not expect displacement to act the same as it does in the horizontal experiments, which are done from a complete and total stance of rest in a non-loaded
There's a level of aggression that both sides are certainly bringing to the conversation.
When you drop something from the air, there's already force.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's why you have to hold it up. And if you try to hold it up for too long, that will make your arm tired because you're holding up, you're using a continuous force to hold that object there. So dropping an object that you use force to lift up and then examining the displacement of that object is never, you should never be expecting the same results as you would expect when taking an object that is completely at rest and is not loaded under any force and then put it into motion. You're not.
Hey, BB, water for duck's back, mate. I don't care. I don't care.
Apples.
Think I care?
That is clear and obvious and should be obvious to anyone. I left a couple comments under those videos. And of course, my question was, what about the force required to lift the object into the air and hold it there until you release it? And I've gotten no response.
I've never dismissed the demonstration, though, BB. I'm not one of these people that are going to dismiss something that's right in front of me. I'm still 50-50 on it. Said that many times. I'm still open to it.
That's the big missing component in every one of the experiments that I watched. I call it a mistake. Correct me if I'm wrong. He is in no way.
I get it as much as I give out, BB. I don't care about names and stuff like that. Do you think I care, mate? Absolutely not.
Never mentions, never accounts for, never discusses the force required to lift that object and load that object, and is merely continuously saying that we should expect that the displacement to occur in that mode identical to how it displaces horizontally. And that's incorrect because you're not dealing with apples to apples. You're dealing with two different types of experiment, period. One's loaded, one's not. So therefore, all of those results and saying, look, these results are different than these results, therefore the Earth is rising, incorrect. And I just pointed out the big mistake. It's a mistake in Lucky's opinion. Okay, if anyone would like to address that, what happens to that force that's needed to raise that item? Nobody seems to be addressing that. Now,
has been called a mason.
I don't really want to be involved in that.
But tell me,
I'm sure now all of these people are going to chime in and tell me how dumb and what an idiot I am. That's wonderful. Here's what I want to point out next.
Hundreds of people have called Dale a mason, for Christ's sakes. BB. It's words, mate. I mean, Dale obviously doesn't believe that, does he? Dale's not a mason, is he?
Like I said, I'm not going to do any name calling, shill calling, anything. I'm just going to give you guys my common sense opinion, like I always do. Okay? So first of all, the experiment results should be different. We should expect different results. So, and we're seeing different results. Great. Okay.
Relax, BB. You take it way too seriously, man. Why are you taking it so seriously? You know what I'm like. You know I fuck about a lot. You shouldn't take what I say seriously whatsoever. I do say that to people. Don't listen to a word I say.
Now,
especially when I'm in joke mode. Come on, man.
The main thing that I want to point out, and the largest mistake, and that is the claim of causality.
I said the other day, you can take a lot. You can take a lot from going over to Dell and listening to Dell. I mean, a lot of it makes a lot of sense. As I've said this many times, BB. I even said the other day, you can go there, you can go to other people if you're into stationary, biblical, go and see flat. If if you want to learn about maybe there's some kind of motion going on, go and see Dell. I was saying this the other day.
Obviously, we know this. I mean, you know this from from the mainstream science claims of gravity, right? They go, we know things fall at 9.8, accelerate at 9.8 meters per second squared. Therefore, we know the Earth's a ball because gravity caused it. Okay, so they're claiming a cause, gravity, for an effect, things falling at 9.8, right? That's what the globe does. So now what do we got with this rising Earth thing? Okay, so things reacted differently in our drop experiments than they do in our horizontal experiments. Therefore, it can only be a rising Earth. That is a massively huge mistake. Rising Earth would be the cause, and allow me to slow down. Rising Earth is being used as the claimed cause of an observed effect. The reality is, and then, I mean, if the rising Earth right now is going to use, well, what else could it be? We know better than that.
I agree, John. I agree.
Better than that.
It's really tame now. Can't even say words without people throwing like hissy fits.
Put your feet back on the ground.
I know I'm joking.
Basic scientific method 101, claiming causality just because an effect matches your belief. Huge mistake. To claim causality, to claim that these effects can only be caused by a rising Earth would require demonstrable proof of a rising Earth. This is simple stuff, folks. We will never get demonstrable proof of a rising Earth. Of course. Why? Well, the claim will be relativity. Y'all do know that the rising Earth is not a provable thing. I mean, I'm sure you guys can figure that out by now. So it's a belief, it's a claimed cause of an effect. Now, did I say it's
beyond belief? You're funny, man. This isn't my guy. I've never met Lucky Haskins before, ever in my life. I've never been to the States and gone to visit him or BB. He's not my guy. I've just found out about Lucky and I'm playing his video. That's it. My guy. Good one, BB.
Wrong? Nope. I just told you all of the issues that I'm seeing with what's been presented to me so far from the rising Earth. Okay?
My guy.
The effects that we're seeing
funny.
In his demonstrations that are different should be different. I would expect them to be different. However, I'm not going to rush to a claim of causality that I can't prove. That is a mistake scientifically, in my opinion. That's it. Okay, so the two basic things, I see the big flaws in the experiment, and I see an empty claim of causality. Again, leaving out, not only discounting that, well, it could be just something that we don't know or understand. Hey, there's always that. No, man, it's the Earth rising. We know for sure. Okay, well, that's going to take some demonstrable proof, not a claim, because an effect matches your claim, such as, because, obviously Globers use that as proof, right? Well, gravity, of course, mass attracts mass. It matches our claim. Okay, but there's no demonstrable proof of it. We know this. And of course, there's no demonstrable proof of any rising Earth. those experiments are certainly not demonstrable proof, even if he corrected and added the information that is that you've already applied a force to any item that you lift and then suspend in a medium that can't support it. Even if you guys add that into it, you're still not going to be able to connect it to the claimed cause. That's only an assumed cause. That's huge, folks. That is huge. So, in conclusion, if you want to believe that the Earth is rising, and that's what's creating the effects of the experiments that you've recently seen, that's okay. It could be right, could be wrong. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. I know you guys think that's a weird stance, but it's not, because I know that it can never be concluded. It'll never be concluded, folks. If it's not demonstrable, it's not science, in Lucky's opinion. Okay? Keep both boots on the ground. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. If it's not demonstrable, don't latch onto it. I've always said these same two things. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying very clearly and poignantly, that assuming a cause of an effect can certainly lead you astray in the scientific, if you're on a journey of discovery. And I've seen nothing to connect the two. What I'm seeing is people continuously coming up with experiments and saying, hey, this matches the rising Earth theory. So if you don't believe in rising Earth, you're dumb. Well, again, man, I don't want no part of it. I ain't swimming in that pool. Just going to call it like I see it and tell you like it is. You're going to have to prove causality if you want to prove that the Earth is rising. That's, at least, you're going to have to prove it to Lucky. I'm not going to call you dumb, though, you know. But as always, ask yourself, who can I help today? Most importantly, stay true, y'all.
Okay, that's cool. That was Lucky Haskins. Oh, this is quite interesting. We watched this on Saturday.
Is the world round? Come on.
This is back in 2010. Oh, Tommy.
Let's start by celebrating the evidence that lies before our very own eyes, at our very own fingertips. Is the world round? Come on. Let's clear our minds. Let's make up our own minds. Is the world round? Bollocks.
I love that. Bollocks. I like the bollocks, mate. Right, got to close it down, guys. Fine, where I am. Oh, it's back. What is going on? That had disappeared. That actually disappeared the other day. Do you remember? I looked in here and it wasn't, and it's back now. What is going on?
We don't need no stinking badges. Just a little seed makes a big tree, standing on its own, thriving all alone. Just a little seed makes a big tree, grows so high, gonna touch the sky. Just a little seed makes a big tree, spreads roots deep, branches far and wide. Masonic lockdown in your hometown. Masonic lockdown, can you hear me now? From the top down, soul shock down, state shakedown, mass breakdown, global orders, riding over borders. Get behind your doors for the new world order. Dr. Evil and his needle, Dr. Evil with a master plan, a false vaccine, like a bad dream, a plan to...
Are you ever going to have this conversation with a glober, though, Del? With an actual glober? Because that's what needs to happen. Yeah, they're staying away because they know, but Got to try and get a conversation going with one of these. Right? They can't be that scared, can they? What about in your Discogs? Have you had any come in into your not Discogs? What's it called? Discogs is the music.
Every woman, child, and man, the plan to chip us all, to have complete control, the land, the sky, your soul. Peace like silence in the snow. Free to do exactly as you're told. Obey, consume, and up to heaven for your pie up in the sky. Sleepwalking dream.
Yeah, have you had any Globers come into your Discord yet, though, and try and talk to you about this? Because I thought that's where they would probably end up going, into there. If they're scared to actually come on and talk to you on YouTube. But yeah, they're nowhere to be seen. Absolutely. No.
You best believe your lying eyes.
Sort out that
making more than passes in the skies. 5G radiation beamed to Earth from space by satellites. The scientists and media tricks trying to tell me 2 and 2 is 5. Excuse me while I mention the strategy of tension, mass mind manipulation, psychological operation, the general population hypnotized right in front of your eyes. Drama and lies. Look into my eyes.
That's true.
Just a little seed makes a big tree.
These Globers, they go around debating everyone else. That is actually true. But when it comes to what Dell's talking about, nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. I haven't seen not one conversation with Dell having with a Glober over this. No, I can't recall one.
On its own, thriving all alone. Just a little seed makes a big tree. Grows so high, gonna touch the sky. Just a little seed makes a big tree. Spreads roots deep, branches far and wide. Masonic lockdown in your hometown. Masonic lockdown, can you feel me now? Masonic lockdown, soul shock down.
Hey, cheers, Fen.
A mass breakdown.
Thank you, Fen. A big appreciation to everyone that come in today. Cheers, guys.
Put your muzzle on, get back in your basket. Get behind your doors, cause living here is drastic. Dr. Evil and his needle. Dr. Evil with a master plan. A false vaccine, like a bad dream. The plan's a microchip, every woman, child and man. The plan's to chip us all, to have complete control. The land, the sky, your soul. Na 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 na, 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 na na na.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein. But you don't have a choice. People act like you have a choice.
Thank you, Andy.
The greatest form of control is where you think you're free when you're being fundamentally manipulated and dictated. One form of dictatorship is being in a prison cell and you can see the bars and touch it. The other one is sitting in a prison cell but you can't see the bar, you think you're free. What the human race is suffering from is mass hypnosis. We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers. We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us modern day slaves. And everybody's just walking around, heading the clouds and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. By then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
Everybody is slaves, only some are aware that the government releasing poison in the air. That's the reason I collect so many guns in my lair. I ain't never caught slipping, never underprepared. Yeah, they Shaitan Army, they just spray it proudly. George Bush, the grandson of Alistair Crowley. They want you to believe the lie that the enemy Saudi. The enemy ain't Saudi, the enemy around me. It's fluoride in the water, but nobody know that. It's also a prominent ingredient in Prozac. For real? How could any government bestow that upon people who believe in political throwback? That's not all that I'm here to present you. I know about the Black Pope and Solomon.
Relax, BB, relax. You'll be the next one.
Temple, yeah. About the Vatican assassins and how they will get you, and how they clone Barack Hussein Obama in a test tube.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking
about. Baby, everyone's grown ass adults. If you can't handle a few words, man, you shouldn't be on the internet. Simple as that. They're just words, man. Water for duck's back. Why do you care so much?
And everybody's just walking around, heading the clouds and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. By then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end.
Whoever built the pyramids had knowledge of electrical power, and you know that that's the information that they suppress and devour. Who you think the motherfuckers that crashed in the tower? Who you think that made it turn into ash in an hour? The same ones that invaded your own, the ones that never told you about the skeletons on the moon. Yeah, the ones that poison all the food you consume. The ones that never told you about the Mount Vesuvius tombs. The bird flu is a lie, the swan flu is a lie. Why would that even come as a surprise? Yeah, the beast has war, your wolf made you die. It caused cancer and it cost a lot of people their lives. Do y'all know about Bohemian Grove? How the world leaders sacrificing children in robes? Lucifer is God in the public school system. I suggest you open up your ears and you listen.
It's like we all know what's going down, but no one's saying shit what happened to the home of the brave. These motherfuckers, they controlling us now, and no one's talking about how they made us modern day slaves. And everybody's just walking around, heading the clouds and won't awaken to a dead in the grave. By then it's too late, we need to be ready to raise up. Welcome to the end of days.
The greatest hypnotist on planet Earth is a oblong box in the corner of the room. It is constantly telling us what to believe is real. If you can persuade people that what they see with their eyes is what there is to see, you got them. Because they'll laugh in the face of an explanation that portrays the bigger picture of what's happening. And they have.
Building. 25 years I've been on the force. I've seen every kind of sick, depraved act known to humanity, and still, when I see a black man walk by who has more money than me, I want to vomit my gizzards right into the gutter. But why? Maybe there is no reason. Maybe there's just a big blue ball out there that's mostly covered with water and we're just going along for the ride.
DJ Ill Will.
Oh, this is Mo jiggling balls in your mouth all day, every day. Hey, you tuned in to Fuck What You Heard Radio, where you can stick a dick in your ear and shut the fuck up, bitch. But anyway, we got your new K-Dot record. I know you in traffic. Where you at, baby?
Down Rosecrans, 87 Regal, sipping on a gold can, gun tucked like the fetal position. Top dog coalition, coexisting with the coldest whoever quoted from California district. Been a Kona like David Banner, I'm the owner of the marijuana aroma. You smell it, hit a donut, yelling it's me, bitches. Who did it? I did it. Take them where they can't go. Like Planet Venus, leaning like a mad scientist. Laboratory Tory bottles of empty Heineken, telling stories about the ones that came before me. Chinamen squinting his eye because I'm blinded. Him, my shine is bigger than the striker lighting, and they liking him because I like to win. Never lose, put me on a pedestal. Bet I pedal victories until I pedal off my shoes. Welcome to the Lions Room. Challenge anybody home. Wanna try they luck, they get fucked up, and all you heard was ooh. Say hello to the little big homie, and your reality ain't realer than this, homie.
Just our comments.
Oh, all right, guys. And where's that gone? No, it's. Oh, what is going? So now my outro has disappeared, and the Vinny Pads has come back. What the hell? No, the banner walk, that's gone. I don't know what's going on. All right, guys. Right. Do. All right, guys. I will see you Saturday, same time. Take care till then, right? How many people do we get in? 45? 40, 47, nice. Yeah, this one will be staying up. So yes, I'll